Hello and welcome to Fight Club. I'm Mojo here with the hammer.
Yo.
And boy, we got a third week coming up for you guys. We are in the middle of a leaky boat here, all riled up after taking a 2-week Vegas vacation break. Hammer, hit him up. What is happening this week on Fight Club?
Absolutely. So if this is your first time checking out Fight Club, well, we have great news for you. We have a lot of actually other episodes that we've done in the past, which you're more than welcome to go check out over on my YouTube channel, which may also be where you're watching this, in which case check out the playlist and go consume. It's fun. This is actually season 3 of Fight Club, and it's actually week 3 as well. Fight Club is a streamer showcase where we have actually gathered 5 streamers from across the Magic the Gathering Twitch universe, and we are pitting them in gladiatorial MTG Arena combat for your amusement. And we're, of course, including pre-fight and post-fight interviews because, let's be honest, these are some cool folks and we want to really highlight what they're bringing to the table so you get a taste of kind of their personalities, what you can expect to find on their streams, and at the end of the day, we're here to have a good time, and that's really what we're up to. So what we've done, this is the 3rd week of this season. We have 5 fighters who are competing, and each week we draw a random color out of a box that they are forced to use, and it adds up over time. And so this week, week 3, every combatant here has 3 colors that they need to include within their deck to some degree. And they were all randomly selected. We started with making sure everybody got a different color to start things off, which is why we're on 5 folks. And this week we're on triple colors. And so our combatants today, we actually have Mojo, my co-host here, is going to be jumping into the ring doing Grixis. We then also have his competitor, Damien F16, who is actually also on Grixis.
Oh,
they started from different points, ended up at the same spot on week 3. It's pretty fun how that works out. Then we also, for our next match after that, we do have Astralsflame, who is actually on Naya.
Yep.
And then we have C. Forever Jr., who is on Jund, actually. So, yes, Astralsflame is going to be in a battle where Jund is represented, and he's not going to be playing it. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. And then the last round of the day, the last battle that we have for you today.
The main event.
The main event. Every fighter gets the privilege of being in the hot seat for the main event. And this week it is Numbskull, who is actually on Esper. Anyway, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
Now, Numbskull does not know who he is versus this week, as does every redemption fight, main event, wildcard fighter rotates throughout the season. You guys at home will be given the privilege and honor of voting back whoever lost one of the earlier matches. Say I lose to Damien, you guys either pick, you have a chance for voting me back to fight Numbskull in the end.
Exactly. So Numbskull does not know who he's going to be up against. And so as a result, crafting the deck is a little bit tricky, because the other part about this challenge, it is best of 3 standard, and the combatants are encouraged to bring unique, interesting brews in those colors, because standard is a very, very deep card pool, but as we all know, the competitive scene kind of gravitates around the strongest cards, because people like to win games. I know, who knew, right? Yeah. And so for this competition, they are all encouraged to bring something unique and different. And you at home get the opportunity to express that when it comes time to pick who Numbskull is going to be fighting. So if folks win their round in the rounds 1 and 2, then great. They get a point on the season and they can put their feet up and just watch the rest of the show. If they are knocked out, if they lose that match, then we have a redemption vote, which is for the live Twitch audience. You guys get to vote on who you want to see Numbskull face off against. And then whoever gets the redemption vote comes back in, faces off against Numbskull, and they have an opportunity to win half a point. Numbskull has the opportunity to win the full point because, yeah. So that's the format. That's what we're up to. Here we are, Fight Club Week 3. I'm excited. Mojo, how you feeling, man?
Of a leaky boat in international waters, because nowhere else in the world is this loud, we'll say. So without further ado, we're about to crack open the vault and open the deck for review. Hammer, are you ready?
Absolutely. Oh, we're ready. So, Mojo, we're actually starting with you on this one. We're going to take a look at the deck that you put together for this. Because, fun fact, actually, I get to curate, as the kind of the producer of the show here, I get the privilege of curating everybody's decks. And when Mojo submitted his deck, I actually had to follow up and like, are you sure? Are you sure? And y'all are going to see why here in just a second. So let's go ahead and bring it on in.
So I opted without a net. Yes, sideboards are optimal, but
They sure are.
There's an 80 card pile here, guys, because the deck goes infinite. We got right now. I'll just break right into it.
Absolutely.
So the overall intent of the deck is a spell slinger with my personal, almost all-time favorite card, Over the Top. So we put as many. The intentions are to put as many treasures as we can muster up into the battlefield, as well as permanents, such as rolls and artifacts and creatures, any non-land permanent. And then Over the Top, and the goal here ultimately is to get City on Fire. And then, what's the thing called? Explosive Singularity. So I'm trying to slam down 3 City on Fires and then I'm blasting Damien, the Kingdom Gone, with a Singularity, hopefully in probably 3 or 4 digits.
This is hilarious. I love this idea. I see you have cards like Mind Splice Apparatus to help make things a little more reasonable. And then also those treasure tokens that you're going to be amassing just to have a crap ton of stuff on the battlefield when Over the Top triggers. Also going to help you pay for the Explosive Singularity if the Mind Splice isn't quite where you want it.
I also coupled the ability of Mind Splice with Vedric. Vedric
yes.
is a little personal dork, I guess you could say, splice. When its power is increased, all my spells cost less. Instant sorcery. So I coupled it with, if you go to the far left over there, is Mishra's Command. And then if you buff the... So you can buff the Vedric, and then everything is super cheap. I mean, just go off like a monster.
I love that. Oh my
goodness. The reason I didn't put any sideboard cards in here because it's a combo deck. Like, we're operating without a deck. There's 80 cards in there. We're going through the whole deck most likely very quickly. It's not much room for margin. I did try a few variants, and there's no room. There's no room for it. We just stall out. So we gotta stick to it, gun it, and gas it.
I dig it. This is. I mean, I also love the fact that your deck revolves around making instants and sorceries that, in many cases, are red. It's revolving around making them cheaper, and it doesn't use the new Rowan, which it was interesting. Had you considered including her in this?
Rowan, fill me in.
Rowan, Scion of War, I believe is her name. She's 4/2 for 3, and you can tap, and all your red or black spells cost X less until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you've lost.
Oh yeah,
we're not gonna use like pain lands and things.
We're not gonna be losing life in the deck here. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, another perk like so. Over the Top gets permanents off of the library. Everything else that you reveal with Over the Top goes to the graveyard, which continues the combo here.
Nice. Well, and I also noticed that, and having Lear in here means that if you end up milling the Explosive Singularity, which is likely, with if you hit the Over the Top hard, then Lyra lets you just cast it from the graveyard.
My favorite addition, and I actually borrowed. I saw the power from Numbskull earlier in this weeks. Is what the heck is it called? The 4-drop, I believe. 4-drop.
That's not Antics?
Yeah, Antics. That's the one. So if Damon has like 5 creatures out, we get 5 permanents right away for the Over the Top. Not to mention critical board, so yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it keeps you alive and then supercharges your late game plan. I dig it. 80 card, no sideboard. I don't know. One of the things that's tricky about playing best of 3 is making those sideboard decisions. So I appreciate how you just shortcut it. Like, nope, this is what we're doing.
There's nothing else we want to do. The deck does what it needs to do, and if Damien gets away, I mean, so be it.
Well, and on top of that, if Damien ends up with a lot of stuff on the board, we haven't looked at his deck yet, but if that's a situation where we end up being, Over the Top is going to flip a lot of Damien's deck as well. And you've got more runway. So if, the mill out is a possibility. That is, a plan B.
There is such thing as mono red mill. I've done it.
Yep. Fun stuff. I dig it. All right, so we are going to go ahead and bring in Damien, your competitor, for this particular battle, for a quick little chat, and I want to see what he's up to.
I'm excited. Slightly nervous, but let's see what we're up against.
All right, Damien. How you doing, my friend? Are you there?
Well, shaken. Shaken is the word I would use. I don't even know what to say. I mean, there's some things that we can always rely on to be true. You know, the sun rises in the east, water is wet. Mojo is a mad scientist. He will always, as sure as, you know, the earth turns, he will come with a ridiculous brew that I can't even fathom all the moving parts. It's like that meme with all the projections and calculations flying around. I don't know how. I don't know how he comes up with this stuff.
Damien,
I'm scared. What's that? Sorry?
You say it to all the girls.
Yeah, and when you look at Mojo's list, like they look absolutely absurd, and then somehow
no
they find
sideboard,
a way.
80 cards. He just, who needs a sideboard? I mean, there's no point. You're an all-in combo deck. So anyway, it looks crazy. I'm rooting for him. I was saying in the chat, I hope he goes off. I want to see it happen almost.
Real quick, Damien. Before the show, in the back room, I asked you. There's a Sylvester Stallone movie.
Yes.
What theme the card? Have you put it together yet?
So what Mojo asked me was, he said, there's a combo card in my deck that is, it's over the top. It's over the top.
Yes, of course. The switch is over the top.
He said there was a card in his deck that was a Stallone movie at one point, the name of a Stallone movie. And I'm like, in Grixis? I'm like, what? I'm like, Cliffhanger. No. Demolition Man. No. Like it's some, you know, he's been in so many movies. It's not Rambo, it's not Rocky. Like it's got to be some of these other weird movies. Over the top, glorious legend.
Making arm wrestling cool since the late 80s.
Oh, I remember the cover of the VHS tape at Blockbuster with this. It was like almost like a drawing of him. Yeah. Anyway, so my deck, sorry to disappoint you, everybody watching at home, is far less fabulous. It's just well, if you want to jump to it, I'll explain. It's
break it open.
It's a Grixis deck that is milling, so this should be great.
We're
playing
man.
Jace Breach. Okay, so let me set the stage here a little bit. Last year when I was doing Fight Club, I played a mill deck at one point. I played a land destruction. I tried to literally I would try to have played a reanimator deck if I could as well. Just tried to hit all the weird archetypes. So I thought, you know what, this week let's try and mill them out. This is, you know, I get to play Jace, I get to play Chandra copying Breach. I'm going to try and do a lot of, you know, I've got the Light Up the Night as well in there, just to, you know, as a random backdoor win. But mostly it's control deck. I've even got Alchemist Gambit, hopefully taking 3 turns with Chandra here in a row. But we'll see. So it's basically a kind of a control-ish deck. I didn't know what crazy nonsense Mojo was going to bring. So I tried to, you know, I have removal and stuff, which is obviously going to be totally dead. His deck is playing almost no creatures. So I don't know how good Breach. I don't even think I saw Planeswalker in there. Dude. But we're going to be milling each other, dude, like big time.
This is insane, man. Like it's like gas fighting fire while we are feeding off of each other.
This is gonna get wild. Yeah,
it's gonna be weird,
bananas, dude.
If I knew you were gonna bring an 80 card deck, I would not have played mill. But here we are. I don't know if I can mill you out before I deck myself. Honestly, I had a version of the deck playing it's like a 3-mana blue sorcery that looks you can impulse and put 4 cards back in your deck from your graveyard, as well as Devious Cover Up. Witness the Future. I had one Witness, 1 Devious Cover Up to loop to make sure I don't deck myself. But I was just like, nah, you know what? It'll probably be fine. And now I'm probably, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat you with an 80 card deck. This is going to be interesting.
Well, you got Chandra and Light Up over there. That's a banging combo with Galvan. I think I'll tell you what.
Yeah, Chandra's pretty sweet, like copying the big scores, copying, you know, other stuff, counter spells or removal or whatever, you know, on your turn. But, you know, again, in your deck, the removal's pretty dead. So sideboard, I've got D-Strokes, Negates, Duress, which obviously is going to be good here. Siphons, maybe. But other than that, yeah, I had some removal. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how I definitely... you know, I mean, I don't know. How do you build a sideboard against the Mojo special? You can't. There's no way. Yeah. So I tried to cover a bunch of different aspects of, you know, different archetypes, but I don't know how this is going to go. I have no, if you had to, you know, tell me which deck would you bet on here? I think I would probably bet Mojo, because that 80 card is going to be, it's like killing an opponent from 80 life here.
If you, I'm gonna give you a little strategy tip. don't put that many permanents on the battlefield because it'll work highly against you. That's what I was banking on, was for you to have some kind of permanence at your side of the board.
Yeah, and actually looking at this, a lot of the early game is interaction. You know, with like the invasion of Amonkhet being like one of the only things that's actually going to stick. You know, you have the next 4 treasures, maybe the burn down devils, but for the most part, this is a lot of game. A lot of this game is going to take place on the stack. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm just planning my line here. The only thing that I did, gosh,
quick, take the deck off the screen before he strategizes. Take it off.
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to point out, the 2 Brotherhood's ends. I think honestly, like Damien, you found some of the best red cards that are currently in standard right now that I think a ton of people are sleeping on. Brotherhood's End is absolutely phenomenal, and I think you probably included it in here, assuming there will be some flavor of aggro. When in fact, Mojo is going to try to put a bunch of treasures on board.
All right,
and so this does answer
on here, Hammer.
And then also, Chandra Hope's Beacon. I think Chandra Hope's Beacon and Jace the Perfected Mind are my 2 favorite planeswalkers that are currently in standard. So I love seeing them featured here. I think this is cool.
Chandra is insanely powerful. Yeah, I mean, if you untap with Chandra, it's, even in Pioneer, I've messed around with Chandra. If you untap with that card, it's almost certainly GG for your opponent. Even the turn it comes into play is sometimes just you get to do something huge. But
this is gonna be a rough fight, fam.
This is gonna be interesting. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. But good luck, Mojo, and I hope everything, works out well and we have a good fight. And
no, we're losing.
I'm going to destroy you, Mojo. Oh, I can't wait to destroy your giant bloated corpse of an 80-card deck. Soon I will.
Anyway, and it's going to be great. Sorry, I just had a little...
Damien, your little buddy over there, I just got a quick question. Why do I got to be bloated? Why do I got to be bloated?
I didn't say who's bloated? What are you talking about?
No.
What? David, are you feeling okay though? That's all. You okay, man?
Yeah. Okay. I had these weird things. Great. It says it's my medical private. Don't even. Why?
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Don't stare. Try not to stare.
All right. All right. Well, with that, gentlemen.
Touch gloves, Damien.
With that,
Fight
if
club,
you both
baby.
accept this challenge, let's touch gloves. And let's get down into the arena. Let's go.
Back in the locker room we go. I'm gonna mic down here.
All right, cool. And so in the commentating booth with me here, Numbskull is actually going to be joining me. So Numbskull,
what's up, guys?
All right, good to have you, bud. All right, so here we are. We are going to be So here we are. We got a Grixis mirror, but this is going to be anything but a mirror. Holy cow! These decks are both very different from one another. And what are your thoughts going into this match? What are you expecting to see?
It's going to be interesting to see about milling out. It feels like it's cool because, both decks are actually going to get a chance to probably do what they intended to do.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
It's going to take a while to mill, and it's going to take a while to. I mean, Mojo's deck by default kind of takes a little bit to set up for the over the top, but it sounds like Damien's deck really isn't designed to deal with the setup, so it's just maybe his best hope is maybe I don't mill you out, but I'm able to keep you off of lands by making you mill or make you mill the cards you need, things like that,
Absolutely.
So Mojo might have to find another way to win.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. All right, so here we go. We're going to be watching game 1 from Mojo's perspective. And so Mojo's definitely going to be trying to get some stuff established onto the board, which might be tricky. And Damien is in... we're in kind of an open deck list environment, if you will, and that definitely is an advantage for more controlling decks. So if Damien finds his way into a counterspell, he might hold it to see until Over the Top shows up. We'll see.
Definitely about picking your battles here, and we know the cards that are problematic, so to speak. So we'll see.
Absolutely. All right. So let's see. We've got the Grabby Giant creating a treasure token. And so here we have Vadric in hand. And that's the one playable in hand. So let's see.
So he's going to hold for the big score, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Holding for the big score, chooses not to cast it on Damien's end step. When your opponent has open blue and they're running counters, I can understand that.
Yeah, it makes it tough.
All right, so here comes the Grabby Giant. No claws, notably.
Yeah, okay.
Straight to the battlefield. right. And here comes the invasion of Amonkhet. Milling a lot of lands of the
3 lands,
and then
yeah.
Mojo's gonna discard Vadrik. Okay.
Galvanic.
So yeah, second copy of Galvanic Iteration. And having Galvanic Iteration and Big Score in the hand does feel pretty good. Mojo notably 1 mana shy of being able to fire them last turn. Although now, with Vadrik online, Vadrik's power is 1. And therefore, all instants and sorceries that Mojo have cost 1 less. And if it switches over to nighttime, which frankly right now is likely, then Vadrik is going to get a counter. And everything's going to get even cheaper. So, here we go.
Man, doesn't it feel like Galvanic Iteration's been in standard for like 4 years now or something like that?
Yeah, it seems like we're in a Galvanic Iteration. It's like, wait a minute, I thought we were doing standard. Oh yeah, no, we are. All right, Burn on the House gonna answer the Grabby Giant and Vadrik. Okay.
So maybe we're just gonna main phase it here because you want to play around.
Down to one mana tapped is pretty good, but nope, gonna pass it.
Okay.
Let it switch to nighttime. I don't know that that's gonna matter in this case. But here we are.
We've already seen 2 Vadriks, so one's gone, or two are gone, and I didn't see how many he had in his deck, Mojo.
I believe he's rocking 3, if I recall.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. So we've got Jace, the Perfected Mind, gonna -2. Mill Mojo for 3 and then draw a card. And Mojo doesn't have a clean answer to Jace right now. So here comes the Galvanic Iteration. Now, if this resolves, one of these big scores is going to resolve. So Galvanic Iteration is going to copy the big score. Now, Damien could counter the original big score, which would result in only 1 big score resolving this turn.
Right.
But even so, Mojo's going to get at least 1 score. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, and there's the over the top.
Oh,
and
boy.
that was on Damien's end step.
Oh boy. All right.
Yep. Here we go. All right. So Lear, Disciple of the Drowned.
We're gonna take it slow.
With that. Yep. Maybe second guessing it. I think putting a creature on board here is valuable. Looking at the Galvanic Iteration, maybe for the double flick a coin. But nope, sure enough, Lear hits the stack. Mojo still has 5 mana open with those 4 treasures, which is pretty great. Notably, Lear allows the adventures to flash back from the graveyard. Honestly, I did not realize that was the case.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. So Mojo could actually cast out the Grabby Giant from graveyard, which would result in the giant itself going back into exile, on an adventure.
Yeah, that's a unique ability that you gain from Lear.
Yeah, I'm thinking I need to build some adventure Lear decks now. That looks awesome. Like that's an interaction I need to abuse.
Cool. Yeah.
All right.
Kind of a weird spot because it's like, how many treasures do you want to use right now?
Exactly. All right. Looks like Mishra's Command is going to be going after Jace. Notably, cannot be countered while Lear's on the field. That is one of the nice things about Lear. It prevents all counters.
True.
So Mojo using 3 treasures. Let's see what happens here.
We're going to... Okay. Kill Lear.
Yep. Lear does, in fact, have a throat. Can confirm. All right. And Mojo's churning through the deck a little bit. Finds that Mind Splice apparatus for later. And the Collector's Vault. Collector's Vault is another card that I think is genuinely very strong. And I like seeing it represented here. The number of treasures that can generate over the course of a game is no joke. But Damien has a follow-up Jace. So Mojo found the answer to Jace. 2 cards. Mojo is 2 cards shy of, in the graveyard, of Jace being able to draw Damien 3 cards. So that's going to be scary when we get there.
Yeah, for sure.
Here comes the vault. All right. I have a sneaking suspicion those Dark Slick Shores are going to be hitting the graveyard before too terribly long, but we're not there yet. All right. Damien is going to downtick Jace once more. Now, this one is going to draw 3 cards, which is pretty fantastic. Woof. Yeah, when you see
that's awesome.
When you see an opponent who is spell slinging and have counter spells in their deck, and you see that many cards in their hand with all their mana untapped, that's pretty terrifying. And now Chandra's down. Here we go. All right. But yeah, so Chandra's live, 5 loyalty. It looks like Damien is considering the next course of action. The Invasion of Amonkhet's still there with 4 defense counters on it. And sure enough,
damage. Yep. Okay.
blasting the Invasion of Amonkhet.
So who are we
Mojoe's
getting?
phase. Let's see. I mean, there's a Grabby Giant and Leer in Mojoe's graveyard. Now, the Lazarus Web Convert notably can only come into play as a copy of a creature, but it can be from any graveyard. It's going to be Vadric.
Oh, Vadric. Oh, okay, nice.
And it comes in as a 4/4, so now all of Damien's spells, all of Damien's sorceries
wow.
cost 4 generic less.
That's tasty.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, it is. Negate on the Mind's Blaze. Woof. Yep.
The 1 mana negate, pretty good.
It seems good. Yep.
Yeah.
And Chandra's even copying it for good measure.
We're gonna copy, so 2 negates for 1 mana. Yeah, that sounds like value.
Seems pretty good. Yep. All right. And there we go. So we see Leer here. We also see the Mishra's Command. Notably, though, Mojoe does not have any cost reduction right now. So that Mishra's Command is just full price. Damien notably does not have any blue mana untapped, though. That is the Haunted Ridge, the only untapped land.
Yeah, we're not gonna see a counter as far as I can tell on Mojoe's turn.
All right, so yeah, and now shields are down, so Leer can come out here. Looks like Mojoe is kind of debating.
You want to just go double command, I guess?
Yeah, double command could knock out both walkers. I think that's what Mojoe's thinking. So that seems pretty good. All right, are they going for the triple command? That is the question. Triple command, X would only equal 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we got damage to creatures and planeswalkers. X equals 3. Going after... Yeah, so it's going to put 3 damage on Vadric and then 3 damage on Chandra. Mojoe, I believe, could have accomplished what he was going after with X equals 2 without spending the treasure. I don't know that that's relevant.
Yeah.
But yeah, would have been able to kill Vadric and both walkers.
Was Chandra at 1? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. X equals 4, so it was clean double tap. All right.
Okay.
So Damien went from having a very dominant board position to being left with nothing, which is exactly what Mojoe needed. But then Damien just plays a land and passes. 6 cards in hand. All right.
Left with nothing but pretty much a full hand, so.
I mean, yeah.
Still dangerous, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot can happen here. All right. Leer, once again, does in fact have a throat. But Mojoe is going to take advantage of the Grabby Giant adventure. Let's see. And at this moment, the Grabby Giant cannot be countered. So Leer would have to be removed from the battlefield, and then the Grabby Giant would have to be countered. If that was what Damien was thinking. And with the Go for the Throat already on the stack,
yeah.
wouldn't have been...
Yeah, it felt like kind of a bad trade just to prevent a treasure.
Exactly. Yeah, and the giant itself is now in the adventure zone, and that might come down later, but that's just a 4-drop creature, you know? Like, Damien has other ways to answer that.
Exactly.
Right. Iteration into big
Gonna get some
score.
cards. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, 6 mana, draw 4, make 4 treasure. Seems pretty good. And yeah, like just like that. So Damien tapped out, but still now has 5 mana available after drawing 4 cards. Acidine Antics, really fun card, does not fit the current scenario very well.
No, sadly not. And then drawn into that, Maestro's Charm is kind of interesting too, because I think that can hit Planeswalkers for a good bit of damage. And he draws it right after he kind of, I don't want to say he wasted the Mishra's Command, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, yes, Yeah, the command ended up doing its job, but the command has a lot of other modes that might have been valuable. You know, being able to churn through the deck, you know, more readily and whatnot. But instead, here we are. And Mojo here baiting some interaction by playing out the Grabby Giant first. Damien isn't biting so far. Let's see how far this goes. And honestly, the Grabby Giant can bring it home. That's one of the things in these more controlling matchups. Sticking one creature with 4 power can get the job done.
You're looking at technically looking at a 4-turn clock here.
Yeah, that's a real threat. Damien has to respect that. And I know he does, but it's just, you know, let's see.
Oh, there we go. Easy enough.
Rosend will take care of it. Yep. In the damage mode. There we go. And here comes Jace again. All right. All right, Ellie Wick is just jamming out on her loot like she does. All right, we got the -2. Once again, fill that graveyard. Draw Damien all the cards. I think milling your opponent for 3 and then Ancestral Recalling is a pretty good down tick. Oh, and Damien plays out Mirex as the land for turn. That's a threat that can also win the game. And one of the things about creature lands that makes them so valuable is just it gives every deck a plan B.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's exactly what you need. Yeah, but Damien at this point is just sitting on all the mana and all the cards. So, I mean, whatever Mojo plays, the chance of it resolving is not great, if we're honest. And he knows it, which is why, hence the hesitation. All right, so here comes the Collector's Vault. Ooh, now we have the conundrum. Do you play out the other vault? And Mojo decides to. Churn through the deck and ramping is pretty good.
And we're just going to kind of like generate treasure while we're at it.
You know, there's an old card out there that I have a soft spot for that they actually recently reprinted in Wilds of Eldraine called Compulsion. Are you familiar with this one at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's an enchantment for 1 and a blue. And you at any point you can pay 1 and a blue, discard a card, and then draw a card. It basically gives every card in your hand cycling for 1 and a blue. And when it came out in Torment, that was kind of a unique effect, right? But now I'm realizing that the Collector's Vault is kind of like the next evolution of that. You know, it's colorless.
Yeah.
You draw the card first, and you get a treasure. It's the Power Crept Compulsion. And I've just kind of made that connection now. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe that's why I like Collector's Vault so much. Because it reminds me of that old card I really liked.
And it's kind of like the first time that you would, or the first time I've seen it used in Constructed personally. Maybe actually, it's probably actually pretty good in Draft. In all honesty, for mana fixing and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cards that Mojo ends up playing. It's like, well, I've never seen that in Constructed before.
That's true.
You definitely learn about some new cards when you watch him play a deck that he made.
Yeah, Mojo's good for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Brotherhood's End. Oh,
Destroy all
ouch.
artifacts. Oh no.
Artifact mode. So the vaults are gone. So Mojo is going to go ahead and just crack all of these treasures right now.
Yeah, might as well get your mana while you're at it.
They're all going to be gone. Yep.
Oh my god.
That hurts. Yeah. I'm guessing the Mind Splice apparatus is going to be coming down.
Yeah. And notably, it does not get hit by Brotherhood's End either.
True. Mojo might actually
mana,
even just float the mana, wait for the Brotherhood's End to resolve even. Just for good measure.
Yeah, we'll wait till we go past main 2, and then he'll probably see if he wants to use it.
Yeah, give Damien an opportunity to take some other game actions.
I guess you could consider it now. It's less likelihood that he would have a counter spell.
Right.
Because he's about to draw some cards. So
yeah, good call. And sure enough, the Mind Splice sticks. Yeah, there's a decent chance that Damien here is going to draw into, one of the dissipates or negates that are in there.
And you see Mojo hovering over. Damien himself only 19 cards left.
Oof.
And Mojo was 16 life still. And I mean, he's definitely more than halfway. Mojo has what, 33 cards? Yeah.
33 cards. And yeah, right now the mill plan is definitely in Mojo's favor. Which, with the 80-card deck, that makes sense. And it's funny, actually, when you look at it. Oh, Light of the Night! There we go! Boom!
How about it? Oh, he copied it. Oh, the Galvanic Light Up the Night. Oh, my God.
Galvanic Light Up the Night. That's pretty fantastic.
Phenomenal. That was great. Well, and as you see from Mojo, it's pretty easy to not much to think about in between games here.
Yep. Yeah, no,
Just
this
click
is,
a
yeah,
button.
so for sideboarding here, I think what Mojo ought to do is wait for Damien to, make the decision and then get back to him. Yeah. That's actually one of the things that you see with the Explorer, like, mono green list right now. A
You
lot
just
of
get
times
to
it just
chill.
goes to sideboard, pass, look, just hang
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. You're playing paper. I guess I'll shuffle my deck a couple extra times. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll make sure to, yeah, exactly. I'll just flip these cards a little bit and then
Tell you to hurry up.
Are you done? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We gotta.
Alright.
This stands okay for Mojo because I mean we know it's a slower game, so it's not like you need tons of stuff early in this matchup. So you hit your 4 lands, you're not mad about this.
Absolutely. Well, and right there, you actually touched on something that I think is really important that a lot of people don't realize. Is this hand, like a 4 or 5 land hand, is not generally considered great. That's not like a perfect hand. But in this kind of a matchup, it actually works out really
fine.
nicely.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so when people ask, "Oh, is this a good hand?" It's like, "Well, what is the matchup? What are you in?"
Yeah.
Against an aggressive opponent, that hand is terrible. You have to mulligan it. But
Of
in
course,
this scenario, I think it'll be okay. Yeah.
Against mono red, that's your mulling to 5 there. But in this matchup, you're like, oh, dude, I got pieces of my combo here. This is good.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The Maestro's Charm, big score. That's giving me some action to work with, and I'm not going to miss my land drops.
Yeah.
That's huge. Not missing your land drops is big time in a more controlling matchup against like this.
And having the Maestro's Charm early definitely is a bit of an advantage that Mojo has in game 2 that he didn't really have in game 1 because we didn't see that card till it was pretty late in the game in game 1 there. You know what I mean? So kind of didn't really get the chance to filter stuff out before the Jaces hit and started milling out the spells that Mojo would have wanted to get.
Right. All right, so we saw there Mojo grabbing up the Xander's Lounge off of the Maestro's Charm, electing notably not, the City on Fire is one of the key pieces, but Mojo doesn't want the City on Fire in his hand. He wants it in the deck to be hit off over the top. Mm-hmm. All right, so now that Xander's Lounge is going to be cycled, so it's funny, the Maestro's Charm looked at the top 5, grabbed a cycler, and now Mojo is cycling that card. So we spent 6 mana effectively to draw a card. But there was a lot of selection in that, and Damien's not applying pressure right now, so that's okay.
Well, and I think he wanted maybe mill some cards to get closer to over the top, and also to just have stuff in the bin if you find a Leer. Absolutely. So I mean, yeah. So it's not bad that he mills the cards. You know what I mean? So definitely, Mojo's done a good job in crafting this deck to make things that would otherwise be seen as negatives kind of turn into positives. Like, oh man, I had to mill those cards, but oh wait, I play Leer. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
it's fine. Exactly. No, that's absolutely true. Well, and on top of that is this deck is it's an 80 card combo deck that needs over the top in order to fire. Yeah. And so, in that situation, that 6 mana was looking at 6 different cards. And it's gotten those, none of those were over the top, so keep it moving. And now we're that much closer to finding it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. In 80 cards, that it makes it that much more relevant and shows you the need to filter.
Absolutely. All right. Oh, Mojo milling 2 Leers off the Invasion of
Oh
Amonkhet,
man, that's rough. That's rough.
Not good. Yep. Yeah, notably, I don't believe there are any raised
any Takanumas or anything?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. There might be a Takanuma in the mana base, but
okay.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, the lands are in good form. A lot of the slow lands, which are working great here. Yeah, that's a stacked graveyard, but it's not necessarily, with the cards that Mojo wants to see in there.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes the Grabby Giant. This is the Adventure, which the name of which I can never remember. That's mine. I always want to say Getting Handsy or something like that. I don't know. It's called Grabby Giant. Anyway.
Grabby.
It's a Grabby Giant. That is literally its name. All right. And again, it's a 4/3. Just put some power on board.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna make you respect it. And at this point, Damien easily could have sideboarded out some of the onboard removal because it's not so clutch necessarily in this matchup.
Yeah, it's true. You're looking for maybe a couple pieces that you have to draw during the game to just take out the Leer, probably.
Yeah,
Brotherhood's
I mean,
End
you got
seems
Leer,
to
Vadrid, and Grabby
deal
Giant,
with it.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I guess some removal is important, but I don't know. It's not as clutch as it normally would be. Here comes another invasion.
Another one.
Cat. Ouch.
So we'll ditch the land, but also continue the general card advantage for Damien.
That's the thing. Having your opponent discard a card and you drawing a card, that's practically as good as drawing 2. And that on 3, that also mills and can flip for advantage.
Yeah, and when you do it twice, you know, it starts to add up.
Absolutely. All right. Now the Grabby Giant can actually turn those treasures into cards, which is pretty handy.
That's
and also
noteworthy,
a sneaky
yeah.
reach for some reason. Yeah.
Because it grabs you out of the sky.
It grabs. There you go. Yes. Sure. I mean, hey, that makes as much sense as anything I can come up with. So, yeah.
Excellent flavor, wizards.
Indeed.
Oh, a Siphon Insight. Okay.
Ooh, okay. Siphon Insight against Mojo. That's wild because you never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I know that you get to spend the mana as any color, but it's kind of funny because you could just hard cast technically anything, even if it was like as if it was in your hand, you know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, in the Grixis, in the Grixis match, it's kind of appropriate. All right. Yeah, the amount of cards in Damien's hand right now is pretty shocking. If I'm Mojo, I really don't like the look of that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, maybe we're doing a charm on Mojo's turn.
It's possible.
Yeah. All right, here comes the Jace. Okay.
There he is. 53 cards left in Mojo's deck. Ooh.
Interesting.
Jace
Okay.
going for the uptick.
Okay.
Going to kind of defang the Grabby Giant.
So that would suggest that there's probably not. I mean, maybe there's removal in Damien's hand, but like probably doesn't have like a Brotherhood's End though. You know.
Right. Yeah, probably not. Well, yeah, because if there was a Brotherhood's End, Damien would probably have played it before playing out Jace.
And even there is a Takenuma. Okay, that's something. Okay. But even if not to kill the giant, you could take out those treasures with the Brotherhood's End, kind of the similar effect that we saw last game too. It's not a bad use of mana at this point.
Absolutely. All right, yeah, that's
Okay. We're gonna flash in the
and
Mind Splice.
flash it in. Yeah, still on Damien's end step. With the Mistress Command in hand, that ain't bad.
Okay.
And it resolves.
Okay.
That always feels good. All right. Got the early counter. Notably, there was a pause. All right. So it looks like the auto tapper there is wanting to convoke the Grabby Giant for City on Fire.
I'm not opposed to it because it's not doing much right now, and you're not really going to use it as a blocker. Unless you want to poke Jace. That's the only thing I could think of.
Right. But even then, what's more important? The taking care of, getting 1 damage on Jace or establishing the city on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
But even then, I don't know. But okay, so here we go. We're going to do Mistress Command. All right. And so, yeah, Mojo's going to filter their hand a bit. And Jace is going to get slapped. So let's see what happens. Yeah, and Mistress Command doing the, draw discard mode here. Yeah, or discard up to 6 cards. Yeah, so just discards 1 and then...
okay.
Yeah, because it is a rummage. That's unfortunate. Flick a Coin is not bad. The moment you add cost reduction, like Flick a Coin on its face is not a particularly impressive card, but the moment you can reduce its cost at all, it becomes so much better.
Yeah.
Damien rocking the Grabby Giant, casting the adventure side. So that's what he found from Mojo's deck.
Yeah, I mean, if you can flick a coin for 1 mana, it's like sure, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, just hey, you get a free treasure and or it nets even.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get 1 damage in a card.
Yeah, it is net positives, which is pretty sweet.
Okay. And yeah, it's the kind of setup where you know, decks that are trying to like storm off or generate like big crazy combos can take advantage of that in some really cool ways.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So at this point, you know, Mojo can, you know, spend a treasure and activate their 1 land, or they could just pass, untap their land, and get the oil counter. So now flick a coin, doesn't spend any of the treasures. All right. Yeah,
We're gonna sack a treasure here.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sacrifice the treasure to draw.
Oof, another lands.
Yeah, find a land off the
All
top.
right.
That is not ideal. Yeah, gonna flick Chandra. That makes good sense. Yeah, if that Chandra Hope's Beacon untaps, Mojo's gonna be in trouble. And it's looking like that might be what's about to happen. Alright. Yeah, so if I'm
We're gonna do
Mojo,
it
I'm activating the
again.
Grabby Giant here and
Sack the
looks
land
like-
this time and keep
one of the
mana
tap lands.
open. Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
finds
tough,
another
dude.
land.
That's
No!
tough. Yeah,
Oh.
that's difficult, dude.
And Karn is Raven over on Damien's side. I gotta say, the sticker game is on point for both of these
Yeah.
fighters, so mad
Yeah, they have
respect
great
there.
stickers.
Uh-huh. Grabby Giant coming in, presumably. This is going to be a giant trade. Yep.
Giant trade, yeah.
It's giant. This trade is gigantic. It's yeah. All right. And, I mean, notably, you know, Damien accepting the giant trade means that Chandra is now, you know, still has quite a bit of loyalty. But beyond that, it also means that that giant's not going to be attacking into one of those invasions. Then Mojo finds yet another
Yeah,
land.
and then
Oh, my
can't-
goodness.
Can Damien just take out both Amonkhet's right now then?
With Chandra's down tick?
With Chandra. Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah. -4, flip them both. That is an option.
No, we're
But
going for the
instead,
plus
Damien's gonna
though.
make the mana.
Okay.
Let's see what this is.
Uh-oh.
Vatic
Is this
iteration,
a light up the night
Are we-
again?
Is this,
Oh,
no! We got
double breach.
triple breach!
Oh, did he do it twice? Oh, but
he hit the
Chandra
Galvanic
copies it.
iteration. Chandra copied the Galvanic
Yeah.
iteration. And so
Oh,
that teed up 2
God.
copies and then breach hit. So this is triple
Oh
breach.
God.
That found a Jace. That found a Jace. Unfortunately,
many-
you can't activate Jace in between these because that would be amazing.
That would be
But
crazy.
even so, I think the triple breach with Jace is going to be
Oh, he's
I
playing
believe
Shouldred.
a full mill.
He's mean for that. He's playing Shouldred.
Yeah, he had Shieldred in the sideboard. And yeah, so Mojo's down to 11. The down tick on Jace can now mill Mojo's deck. We could see the 80 card deck actually getting milled. And yeah, he sure enough Shieldred,
Whoa.
Lear, Vadric. Oh, and a fresh Chandra for good measure. Wow. Yeah.
Wow, the triple, and he can flash back the breach too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the craziest part.
That's nasty. Oh my goodness.
Wow, what
Yeah,
a,
this
what a
Shieldred the Apocalypse, the
great-
2-0 Shieldred coming from the sideboard, coming in. It's not going to make a difference in this game, but Damien's
Yeah.
willing to go there. Damien's here to win. Oh my goodness. Sure enough, the 80 card deck is no more. Wow. And so, yeah, Mojo goes to the draw step.
Goodness,
That's that.
good game.
Boom.
Good games, fellas.
Oh, and Noskull, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. This was
Of
a
course,
blast.
yeah. Thank you for having me. That was a great time.
That was an awesome match. But yeah, Noskull, so thanks so much, and good luck in the upcoming battle. We'll be chatting with you here in just a moment. But for
Thank you.
right now,
See you guys.
we need to bring our competitors. Or yeah, we need to bring Mojo and Damien back in to the ring. But yes, Noskull, again, thank you, my friend. All right, here we go. All right, so Mojo and Damien,
Yeah, we're
Oh.
back. Holy
great games,
crap.
well played,
Oh.
everybody. Oh my goodness.
Wow, GG's. I milled him. I did it. I
You
just
did
wanted
it.
to mill him one time, the 80 card deck. And we did
Yeah.
it. It took 3 breaches and a Jace, but we did it.
Excuse me. Yeah, the
All
moment the Galvanic hit, and then Chandra copied it, it's like, oh man. And we were thinking, oh, is this a light up of the night? And then the breach, like, wait a minute.
You got to end
Yeah.
it with fireworks. We got the light
yeah.
up the night the first time. I even had dissolve up. I was able to do it. Anyway, sorry, GG Mojo, your deck was wild. I
played.
was waiting for
Oh
the,
my
the
goodness.
over the tops and all that stuff, but I guess they were just too expensive, right? Like you were playing around
I
my
think-
counter magic, or I don't know.
You know, we were watching from Mojo's perspective there, and a lot of it was a lot of like rough draws at the wrong time, and you know, especially in that last game. Like,
Yeah.
there was 4 lands in a row in that last. Yeah, it was not ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I could tell there wasn't much going on. He was just playing lands. The first game was decent. There was a minute where it was dicey, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, I could lose control of this game. And then game 2 there, I had almost no counter spells. I was trying to bluff a counter spell the whole time, and when you went for that big score on my end step, and I was like, yep, this is gonna resolve, and then he's gonna know I have no counters. But then you didn't have anything to follow it up with, and I was like, oh my god, whew, nice. But yeah.
No, if an over the top had shown up at a couple key moments, those could have been very different games. But yes, well played, gentlemen. Mojo, how you doing, my friend?
All right. It's a lot. It's a lot of powerhouse versus Manos hard to deal with.
That's fair.
Yeah. And I mean, you were fighting with one arm tied behind your back with no sideboard either. I got the side in like duresses and a bunch of counter magic. I didn't really see any of that in game 2.
No, it's a sideboard wouldn't have changed the outcome, honestly.
No? Okay.
Yeah,
Well, sweet. I got to Mills.
You got me, bud.
Yeah, it's not a great matchup. I think all the counter magic and stuff makes it really tough to resolve all the big stuff, right?
The Shieldred, and the breaches with the Chandras and the Jace and the Galvanics.
I mean, if you're Galvanic Iteration is one of those cards.
Make disappears, yeah.
I'm only playing one. I only had one in the deck list, the Galvanic, but I drew both games to win the game, basically, in both games. So it was pretty good. Lucky draws. GG's. And good luck to the next competitors. And I guess I don't know. Oh, I gotta pick a new color, right? Is this when it happens?
Oh, yes. Now is the time when we would be drawing a new color. So, Mojo, do you have the box with?
All right, the box. All right, so we're gonna take out Grixis here. You got either white or green.
White or green?
Yeah, please not white, because if I draw, we have to build a 4-color deck here. If I get green, easy cakewalk. Oh, green. Oh, great. The color with all the fixing and the ramp and the herd migrations and the blah blah blah.
A little bit of fixing, some bramble familiars maybe, and you're fine, right? Yeah.
If I have to play 4 colors, no green, white, black, red, and blue, the mana is gonna be atrocious. I don't know.
That would be rough.
So
60% of the time, 100% of the time, it is.
See what we got.
Oh, green.
It is green. All right.
Asking you, shout out to the C family.
There's a chance. Okay,
right,
4-color green nonsense. Well, I'll promise you this. I won't play anything that is like the green ramp decks in standard. I'll try and do something totally different, but I can't play my baby Invasion of Alara yet because I don't have white. So I don't know what I'll do, but I'll think about it. Anyway, sweet.
Ooh, actually, I can't but wonder how many people are going to be bringing Invasion of Alara when we get to week 5. But anyway, that's
all right,
for another day.
Let's see. Well, I got to draw my color now. Let's see if I follow in the footsteps of Damien. Let's see. I'm Grixis.
You're currently Grixis.
Yep. I hope you don't get white.
I want white just to be different.
Wandering Emperor is a heck of a
I know
card,
it's gonna be green.
What you got? Let's do it.
Bam! Make me different. What is it?
It's green.
Oh my monkey!
It's green. Oh no!
Yep, so you guys are on the same page yet again, which statistically is far more likely this week than
monkey see Mojo do apparently. Damien, all the love family. You got me.
Man. GG's. I will see you next time.
Yep.
Cheers,
so yeah, Damien, congratulations. We're going to take it down. And folks, if you want to see that 80 card special of Mojo's again, that is going to be an option in the redemption battle going into the final fight. So that will be a thing.
All right, Tusk Claws.
Good luck. Good luck, Mojo.
Well,
cheers. You send Damien back to the locker room, and we've got another round coming up, guys. If you want to see the Grixis deck that I just played later, vote for me, and I will possibly verse Numbskull.
Indeed. So let's go ahead and bring in another one of our competitors. We have Carlo versus Astrals for our next matchup. So let's bring in Carlo. Carlo, how you doing, my friend? Welcome.
Oh, hello.
Right. I know, right?
Welcome home, Carlo.
So here we are. So we knew somebody, just statistically, somebody was going to end up with Jund, right?
Yep.
Had to happen.
And so naturally, Astrals being the Jund Dragon Master, we all kind of assumed. Yep. But then no, sure enough, well, starting with white, that was impossible. But still, you found a way. You're in Jund. How did you feel when Jund showed up? When you realized that was what you were going to be working with?
Well, I was happy to finally get black, which is by far the best color in standard, right? Two, to get paired up against Astrals this round, to play Jund against them is an achievement. So we've checked that off the bucket list. Now the goal is to stay on the same theme that we have the last 2 weeks. And I've been playing ramp through this whole Fight Club season, and that ain't stopping this week. So
I love it.
some ramp is back.
Now, without further ado, Hammer, let's tear open the vault and grill Carlo Barreto here. There she is. I see it already. Sexy Rexy making her debut 3rd time in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Tier Next Rex, Carlo has been leveraging this card every week, and sure enough, no surprises. Still a 3-of. You'll love to see it.
Baby got back right there.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so I love the fact that, like, you started with green and you've been leaning into, like you're saying, into the ramp and leaning into green, like, as kind of the base, and you're really adding kind of some more flesh on the bone, you know, so to speak, to really, like, support it in cool ways. And I love the fact that, like, the moment you have access to black in addition to green, Glissa is now in the mix. And we also see a couple of just absolute bangers in, you know, Virtue and Breach. So I don't know. I'm gonna shut my mouth. Carlo, talk to us. What was your thought building this thing?
Yeah, so the hard part about going to play in 3 colors is you can't have as consistent ramp as we did the last 2 weeks, right? Like mono green was great. We were able to have our 2 drops, our Stomper, our Gwenna, our Invasion, which we're still keeping in this deck because it's just an evolution of the previous weeks. Last week we tried out Charming Scoundrel and Ruby in red-green. So this week you'll see that I've opted to cut Ruby out of the deck because it only taps for red or green mana. Yep. But we've substituted that for the card draw. So we get to play Mosswood Dread Knight, which is an amazing card. So if we're not ramping, we get to draw that card to try to get to the colors we need or the lands we need. It's a better than playing Bushwhack like we have the last 2 weeks. And then I get to play Glissa for the reason to draw cards, but also to combat threats I otherwise wouldn't be able to combat. And another big thing that we get to play this week is Blossoming Tortoise, because man, does that card ramp. So we can go from a 2-drop to land Blossoming Tortoise on 3. And we're even playing Soul of Winggrace to back up Blossoming Tortoise this week. In case we end up milling too many lands, we have multiple outlets to get those lands back from our graveyard. And what you'll notice is this week I'm only playing 2 Invasion of Zendikar because we're only playing 6 basics this week instead of, you know, the 10 plus that we had played in previous weeks. And clear win conditions here on Tyrannix Rex, Itali, or hey, if you are playing bangers too, we get to breach the multiverse and play your cards. So that is always great. And it's opened up the door for better sideboard options. So I get to actually play removal now that we have black, that I didn't really get to play before. In Terra Sunder, in Cut Down, in Lithomantic Barrage. I've got some Edicts. Unleash the Inferno, which is by far my favorite piece of removal. And so we're playing lots of cards from last week, but with some additions and removal.
So first off the bat, my personal favorite card you got in there is the Underdog, the Taurus himself. That card is a banger, guys. It made a big impact, actually, not so much in standard by any means, but the older Eternal formats, Turtle actually took a big liking to all of the manlands and that, but the ramp and you mill and you attack and you ramp and you mill.
Yep.
The amount of ramp you get off this thing cannot be overstated. Like, oh my goodness, it's wild. Yeah.
Yep, and while we're only playing 2 Restless Cottage in terms of creature lands this week, the idea more in this deck is the ramp rather than the creature land part of it. But hey, still doing okay.
I'm curious how far you're going to go through your library here. This is a lot of card value. You're going to be flying through things and Tortoise and Itali.
Tortoise, Itali, and Breach, and Fetch Quests. Yeah, so we're going to be seeing like all the cards in our deck, which is great.
Holy monkey.
And given how hard you're ramping, I mean, Virtual Persistence, you get early removal, and then if you can get that 7-drop down, graveyards are going to be stacked as you're moving through things. So you're going to, the top-end value in this deck is going to be, the potential is insane, frankly.
And you're going to get there quick with Scoundrel. Scoundrel's an amazing card in the format as well.
You had to think
Glenna.
what was going to be the most consistent ramp. And Scoundrel much serves as the same role as the treasure from Capenna, the courier's briefcase, in that you get a treasure out of the deal, no matter what. So is that solid piece of removal to move from turn 2 to being able to play a 4-drop on turn 3?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, Charming Scoundrel on 2 into Tortoise on 3. You're doing the thing. That feels fantastic. Yeah.
This is nasty, but I do not want to be on the other side of this.
I love it.
Second, you're going a lot quick. It looks like it ramps a lot quicker, honestly, than your last one, because there's so many things that ramp, and then they ramp the ramp after you like right quick. Yep. All right. So, any words you gotta say before we get you into the ring versus Astrals himself?
You know, normally I've just been saying week to week, GG, which is still GG.
Which
but
are we gonna choose now,
for Astrals, for Astrals this week, I hope you're ready to get Junded out.
Oh my! That is his. That's his. That's he's shunned.
That it is. It's the big one right there. Absolutely.
That's it.
Carlo, beautiful. Thank you so much. This deck looks awesome. Can't wait to see what you do with it. So we're going to go ahead and move on over. Let's see what Astrals is up to. Let's go ahead and check in.
Carlo. Let's send Carlo back to the
touch
locker room
gloves.
there.
Let's do this thing. Yeah.
Bam.
All right. Bam. All right. And Astrals.
Oh boy.
How's it going?
Jund
What's going? What's going? How you doing? Happy Fight Club.
We're doing well.
The Jund flag tribal flying behind you right there.
No, the
has to be.
ambiance. It is beautiful. It's funny, as a content creator, I'm gonna soapbox for a second. One of the things that's tough is to like establish a brand, like what you're known for. Astrals has done an amazing job of doing exactly that. Everything, it's Jund, it's dragons. That's like, if you want to see Jund and dragons and any flavor thereof, he's the guy. And I gotta say, Astrals, it is really cool to see how well you've established that. That said, how are you feeling this week lining up against Jund?
It's no sweat. I already knew what I was going to have. And I mean, when you speak Jund, I live and breathe Jund. Heck, the Jund is behind me. To say that this is the best week I can be prepared, I think is the best statement I can certainly say. And I'm not worried. Look, I got one mission to go into this, all right? Like, the Flame is prepared every time, and the Flame doesn't need to win to be prepared. Because at the end of the day, when I'm but a generous, giving soul, you know, and being Canadian and saying sorry, if I am not meant to win, it means that my opponent needed that motivation in their life just that bit more. So if I can bring a smile and a good game to my opponent, then the Flame is ultimately already won.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so you are pinned against head versus an army of dark dinosaurs. So I'm super. You said you're not worried. I am intrigued to see what is the reasoning behind this madness of what's that word? Confidence?
Yeah. There's a lot of confidence. I respect
All
it.
right,
Mad respect for the confidence.
Let's see where it's going from. Let's see what Hammer crack is open, and we'll grill them.
So here we go. So I was just saying that Astrals is definitely all about the Jund and the dragons. Now, doesn't have access to Jund. However, plenty of access to dragons.
Oh, you know it.
So here we are. So Astrals, talk to us. What was your thought process putting this deck together?
All right, so I brought in dragons. Like, I have been wanting to. I've tossed in a dragon here or there together, but you know what? Despite not having Jund, I did get access to Naya this week, which means I can play one of the best dragons and frankly underrated dragons in standard right now. Rith, Liberated Primeval. Not only am I going to be coming in with Rith here as a 5/5, and I'm going to start blasting and getting more dragons. Carlo's not even going to worry about a board. Like, you saw those little mana dorks. All I got to do is deal some access damage to those mana dorks, and suddenly I'm making more dragons. Who cares about a bunch of dinos? They don't fly. In fact, you know what? If the dinos get some man space or land stuff on the ground, why don't I just drop a big meteor on them, or in this case, a sunfall?
Actually,
that's an option. I love it.
I didn't see any
right there.
reach or anything on Carlos' side. The air is yours if you can control it.
That's it.
That is honestly, that defines this matchup so well. Who cares about dinosaurs? They don't fly. Boom. That's it. And you're right. I mean, like, and Carlo has a lot to shore up the ground game early with things like, Glissa, Sunslayer, who is awesome against ground forces. But, yeah.
Who needs
and all of
ground
a sudden, like,
forces?
her blocking potential is just not going to be a thing. Unless, of course, you have the Restoration of a Ganjo flip over or the Ambitious Farmhand. But I know those are not the goal.
No, those are deck settings. Like, you know what? People got to ramp in some ways. I didn't need to ramp the traditional way. I don't need to cheat my stuff out. I just need to thin my decks, so my top decks are exactly what I need to finish this game off. What is top decking but a skill? Am I right?
This is true.
If that Rexy comes down on turn 7, it's gonna hurt.
Well, I mean, that Rex might be coming down on turn 5.
My.
A hit or two from a Rex isn't lethal. I'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
you do also have to, destroy evil and ossification. I mean, the ward is a factor, but it can be done. So
yeah, and Carlos packing the tallies too, and if he gets like a sunfall off a tally, like good on you, right?
If he takes a sunfall off a tally, that's fine. I've got 2 more in the deck.
Your deck synergizes with your stuff, but I don't see it faring well for Carlo when he plays with the tally there.
Exactly.
No, this is interesting. I dig it. Yeah, at Sushi. And I do agree that I think Rith is honestly one of the most underrated dragons out there right now. And it's funny, prior to looking at this deck, I had even forgotten that Rith was here. But it's funny because, like, when you really stop and think about it, it's like, wait, Astrals is playing Naya. Of course Rith is in the deck. Like, it's just like, that just makes perfect sense. Giving other dragons Ward 2, and then at the beginning of the end step, if a creature or planeswalker an opponent control was dealt excess damage, there's a 4/4 dragon on the board now, in addition to everything else going on. And so, yeah, also cards like Invasion of Tarkir can end up dealing a ton of damage. And then I see in the sideboard, you got your Lithomantic Barrages, your Brotherhood Zens. And I'm also noticing, I do see a couple of copies of everybody's favorite board wipe there, Farewell.
Well, I mean, like, I have access to white. I need to kind of play that in. So, like, insurance policy.
Crap button. I get it. Yeah.
As an oh shoot button.
It was, yeah. And I know, like, the Lithomantic kind of looks a little funky here, but the big reason is if I need to get some damage spaced around, or let's say, if Carlo happens to get a Tyrannix Rex out or something to that effect, Lithomantic, while only dealing damage, does let me get to play around the ward on getting that damage in. So with some of the other damage that I can poke through on effects or getting destroy effects rolling, Lithomantic still got some value here. Not to mention, I can use it to clear some of those little early annoying mana doors. So
it's true.
So you're going wide and you're going big, and you're also being these giant dragons that by themselves I can't wait to see them actually buffed. I don't think I've ever seen a wedding announcement with dragons.
It's the best way to play. Like, look at this. Wedding announcement makes a Sushi a 5/5, right? That auto clears an Invasion of Tarkir.
Yeah, I've not seen an anthem on a bunch of flying dragons. It's gonna be a first.
Wow, yeah. Invasion of Tarkir into Wedding Announcement into Atsushi. That is a sick curve. I like that a lot, actually. Wow. Okay.
All right.
I'm in, dude. This has an opportunity. I think both. In just looking at it, I can see that both of you guys have found some some big time powerhouse cards in the format, but you're putting them together in a unique way, and I think as a result, I think we're in for a really good match. I like this a lot. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So right now, I believe I'm not a scientist nor a paleontologist or historian, but we're about to make prehistoric history right here, guys. The Clash of the Titans, dinosaurs, and flying dinosaurs.
Exactly. Yeah, or you could say dragons and historically accurate dragons. Yeah. Either way. So this is interesting. Yeah, dragons versus dinosaurs. We're doing it. Everybody.
Drake is my favorite dinosaur. All right, there. So before we get in the ring, do you have any last words? Actually, you have to have last words to Colonel here. So what do you have to say before you both square off?
Sorry, I didn't see your dinosaurs when I was trampling over there, I'll treat you to a double-double after this.
That was sick.
Honestly, that's lovely. I love it. Is it offensive if you're doing a stereotype of your own people? I don't know. I think that's fine, right? That's all right.
It reminds me of the mother off of Bobby's World. I don't think I've ever seen that cartoon back in the day. Don't you know? She always said.
Don't you know? Yeah. I think they were going for like the northern Midwestern, like the North Dakota, like Minnesota kind of thing, which is close to.
Oh
Canada,
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, don't you know? Eh? Up in Minnesota, guys. They love their O's.
Oh, the O's and the A's there.
Oh,
yeah.
the O's and the A's. Yeah. Anyway, all right.
All right, Hammer.
We're so far off the rails. All right, with that, Astrals, good luck, my friend. Go ahead and touch gloves.
Family, and we'll see you guys in the ring.
Boom. Let's get into the ring. So, Mojo, here we are.
Oh man, the third week.
It's happening.
Here we are on a leaky boat about to slam dinosaurs and dragons. Every kid's dream.
I know, right? Honestly. Well, I mean, this match is absolutely that moment where the little kids are picking up their toys going, that's what this is, right?
Some of the perks I realize is that I believe Australs may even like sideboard out the wedding announcements or like the early the token thing and just try and battle them out because those dinosaurs are just gonna run right over those ones.
There's a good chance of that, yeah. Yeah, like the ambitious farmhands, like. Yeah, all right.
He's already getting one on Australia.
All right, so here we go. So Astrals is also, I do need to point out the deck techs were done actually on my arena client, and you'll notice that Astrals is a little more fancy than mine, especially with cards like Rith and whatnot. So, and the lands. But anyway, here we are.
All right, firing off here, guys.
So Carlo leading things off with the Charming Scoundrel. Carlo also on the play.
Turn to ramp. Australs on tap, and Carlos already got 3 mana on the board.
Yep. Yeah, so the Charming Scoundrel is going to get blown up from the invasion of Tarkir, and honestly, I bet Carlo's fine with that.
I don't trust that headbang.
And here's what we're talking about from Carlo. So the Charming Scoundrel allowed for a turn 3 invasion of Zendikar, which goes and grabs 2 swamps, and now look at Carlo's mana base. You got 2 Copperline Gorges, 2 swamps, and the Restless Cottage.
I'm starting to see where the headbang came from, though.
Oh yeah, the blood red headbang.
You're rock and rolling over there.
And Astral's playing out the Restoration of Iganjo, which is a great card, but you can't help but feel behind the 8 ball. We're looking at 5 mana on the other side. 6 now.
6.
Wow, Carlos still hitting the land drops.
My. So I was worried about what those dinosaurs, those Rexes are coming in hot. Although Australs does get the ramp. Yep.
Yeah, discarding the Jetmir's Garden, it's going to enter tapped anyway, so you might as well just get it for free.
He doesn't have an answer for Rexy if it's nexty.
That's accurate. Well, what Astrals could do there, if Rex shows up on Zeotor's Proving Ground getting cycled. All right. And hitting another land drop into Breach.
That has to be a Rex. I seen a Rex.
Yep. All right, Atali, Soul of Windgrace.
They just seem like
Rex in there?
nightmare vision. Oh no, it's Atali.
Rith and Atali.
Watch him get Rex here or Breach right here or something.
That'd be disgusting.
What is it?
Blossoming Tortoise.
That should be.
And Ossification. Ossification with no targets. Yeah.
For flavor.
Yeah, no, just cuz. It's just a little piece of removal.
Now, see, as long as it wasn't a Rex, because Wandering Emperor can take care of the Atali. He needs to find a Sunfall.
Yeah. So Torch
Probably
can be bargained, but in order to take out the turtle, but the problem is, fun fact, it's Blossoming Tortoise, but its type is turtle, so you can say either way.
I was wondering, I didn't Google it, I was wanting to. Are turtles tortoises or Taurus turtles?
I don't think so. I think they're separate things. I mean, if Blade Runner has taught me anything, it's that those are in fact different.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Ow.
The Tesla was trying to determine if they're a robot or not.
Blade Runner, and I've learned from National Geographic growing up.
What's a tortoise? Yeah. You know what a turtle is? Yeah, same thing. All right.
Tortoise.
Yeah. So let's see. Carlo doing some mana math here. Hitting the land drop again. Holy cow.
No. Actually, does he have 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He could have flipped a tally, but he's worried about exile from a tally. It's going wide here.
Sally chose not to. Instead, we're going to be attacking with Rith Atali and the Restless Cottage. Honestly, choosing to go wide like this and hit the invasion is definitely smart. It looks to me like Carlo is playing around the Wandering Emperor, and that's correct.
I don't know what I do. I think he should hit the land. Honestly, he should hit the land and hope for Sunfall. I believe this is.
That makes sense. Yeah, because that's going to prevent the battle from flipping.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, exiling Atali while you got the chance.
Top deck like a boss wagon. Come on,
Boom.
Astro.
There it is.
Flame.
Exactly. So hitting the Restless Cottage. Now, Carlo notably has another one over there already as well.
He's got 9 manas too. Oh, it's a
Realm Scorcher, Hellkite. Oh, no. So, yeah, so Rith could come down and get a counter from the Wandering Emperor, but now...
Dino monster.
Yeah.
That was,
right, so
I was afraid of it. It could have been worse. I don't know. Between Atali and Rexy, yeah, I want to be there.
Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. Now, at this point, I was just about to say Carlo only had 8 mana, but no, found the land. So now Atali's going to flip. And I think that might be...
Yeah, regardless of everything, I'm
this is going to be
certain
lethal.
that game 2 will consist of at least 2 Farewell and Astral's deck. As an oh no button.
Yeah, now you might be thinking, wait, couldn't Rith have blocked Atali there to prevent the poison? But it
could.
Yes, it could have, but it still would have been lethal. It didn't matter. Farewell immediately. Just like, get in. Done. That's correct.
I would actually go Bakabak there. Yeah, there he is.
Yep. Yeah, Gobakan in as well. That makes a lot of sense.
I
Broken Wings, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Broken Wings doesn't really have.
I would take out
here.
the wedding announcement as well.
Okay. Yeah, wedding announcement is decent, but not. It's just not quite enough. Man, the amount of ramp that Carlo brought to the table.
Man, he was headbanging for a reason.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't trust a headbang over there. I don't trust it.
Oh my goodness.
All right, we're in here.
Yep, Carlo's up a game. Let's see, can Astrals come around? And let's see, let's go ahead and watch this next game
let's
from
go watch the Dynamite over there with
Carlo's
Carlo.
perspective. All right, we did miss Carlo's sideboarding. That's okay, because it was done concurrently. But here we go. All right, so we're gonna be watching from the Dino perspective.
So
let's go.
Carlo or Astrals needs to basically sweep the leg. He cannot let Carlo get ramp going as best as he can. He's got to interfere somehow because he doesn't have the defense to deal with a Rex or a Breach right off the go. I mean, he can deal with the repercussions with Farewell and Sunfall, but he's gonna take a big hit in the meantime, if not die. Oh, Ganjo.
Yep, Restoration of Ganjo looking good here. But yeah, so I think Astrals is ultimately, like, bringing the Farewells is huge. Having access to removal, or having access to the sweepers. You know, because there's a good chance Carlo's going to ramp up, do the thing.
Oh, my.
Yep,
Speaking of good chance, this is a repeat identical to what Carlo had game 1 here.
Here comes Stomper, and then in hand, there's the Invasion Zendikar and Blossoming
That's
Torrent.
a great team. The Zendikar couples really well with Stellar, yeah.
Oh yeah, and hit the land in hand.
But
Carlo just is not missing land drops here.
On the bright side, if there's any for Astrals right now, there is nothing for Carlo to ramp into yet.
Yep. Yeah, the Angry Hedron showing disapproval for hitting the Topiary Stomper, which makes a lot of sense because of that invasion. And so now we have a situation where Carlo's got ramp for days, but they don't have any other big threats yet. Now, the cool thing about Charming Scoundrel, one of the things that makes that card so excellent is that no matter what point in the game you find it, it'll give you something you need. You know, because Carlo can just churn away, like discard that mountain.
The other Charming as well, a Charming Prince, it's got a similar mechanic. It has 3 options.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's like a
little
multi-tool. Yep, throughout the whole game.
Yeah, exactly. And so sure enough, the mountain can get discarded here. Drawing another card. Lithomatic Barrage to answer the
Ganjo
Restoration.
Yep. I guess we see Tortoise here, I'd imagine. Looking for a dude land.
Even if the mill doesn't find any lands because of the way that Carlos sequenced that, there's at least a mountain in the graveyard it can bring back.
So
it'll find something. No matter what, a land is coming back out.
No cottage, no problem.
The Beside got milled, but anyway. Just look at that mana base. Oh my goodness.
All right, so next turn from Carlo, I'd imagine that we see a Mosswood draw if he doesn't find anything.
Possibly, yep. Just because this is one of the downsides to ramp decks.
We might see red.
If you ramp a whole bunch, Sunfall, there it is.
He's got to have another one. Something tells me Astrals wouldn't just do that.
I think you're probably spot on. Here's the Dread Knight. There's T-Rex.
Here it comes. This is what I was worried about with Astrals here. Because Rexy, even though you block, he's just going to touch you with a little nibble and you get 4 poison counters from a Ward 4 Trample 8/8.
Yep.
Facey, baby. Right off the bam. So expect either a Farewell or a Sunfall immediately from Astrals. But my read from his early Sunfall earlier.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. Because like the Tortoise and the Charming Scoundrel, ossification.
He's got the mana.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
I saw a removal left.
You'll notice Carlo last turn opted not to play the land. Instead, sandbagged it to cycle, and here we are.
I don't think Carlo's got any enchant removal.
You know, I believe
I didn't see it.
I think that's correct. I don't believe there's anything in there that can answer that. Yeah, so now, I mean, the Dread Knight might be going after the battle, or, I mean, at this point, Astrals is at 11. Here comes the Wandering Emperor getting to exile the Monster Dread Knight.
I would go for the throat right now on that Mosswood. Save the Edict for the Planeswalker and go for the heck out of that Mosswood so Carlo can draw and find more answers.
And that's exactly what Carlo
says. Are you sure about the shoot-hero thing?
Sometimes it's going to deny the life gain and, you know, trigger the Monster Dread Knight because it's going to die instead of exile. No, that's 100% correct. And then immediately draw a card. You know, go for the... And found a Tali. Let's go.
I'll tell
you what. Not enough mana to use it
right
now, but it's okay. Dread Knight is back. All right.
Dino power now. Astrals need. I'm not even sure because Carlos got like 6 big 7-drops, but Astrals you got to piece together as you go. He doesn't have one big game ender card really in his deck.
Ossification on the Dread Knight. Get that engine offline. Fair enough.
Tribal Aussies. All right, here she goes. Here we go. I'm excited. I like this part. I don't even care. Atali is a Tibble trickery. Oh my, Rexy! Ayo, baby!
I need Tyrannex Rex and Ayo. Oh, that hurts.
That's not a bad bet. So Rexy's gonna swing and
destroy evil on Ayo. Yep. Before Tyrannex Rex hits the field.
I wonder if he's got any 4-drops. Glissa. All right, also play that Farewell that I believe you have.
That ain't bad.
He's got to have the master removal because that Sunfall went so quick, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Astrals ripped that Sunfall very fast, and they need another one right here.
And
they have it. Boom.
Never didn't have it.
Now, notably, though, Astrals is at 3.
Oh, my God.
8 poison.
So, Charming Scoundrel swings for 2, but if anything happens at all, if that roll goes in the graveyard, Astrals is dead. It does one life across.
Astrals does have the opportunity. Going to torch the tower, which is going to exile the Charming Scoundrel, but the roll does pay for 1 still. Yeah.
Oh, no.
And here comes... I'm surprised that Astrals went for the torch the tower there instead of simply animating the token and blocking. But at the same time, I mean, hey, got the job done. Carlos sitting on the show, takes 4 to the face, doesn't stress it.
Oh my gosh. So you're saying there's a chance. Come on, Dragon.
Come on, here we are.
I want a game 3. Let's go, Dragons.
Absolutely. So Invasion of Zendikar finding the last 2 basics in the deck.
I just looked at those 2 breach in there. I'm like, no. Is he searching? That's the career ender right there if he hits breach.
This is where things get very interesting with ramp decks like this. Because in this scenario, and here comes Rith.
Dragon. Oh.
Cottage it's not a bad one to have, but right now that could have been a lot better.
Could have used you earlier.
But it does represent a threat.
Farmhand's life.
Blocker back. This ambitious farmhand is huge. So now Rith could attack potentially, and actually deal some damage and establish a clock. And the farmhand could block the cottage, hopefully, right? Like, assuming that Carlo doesn't draw into removal, which is possible.
Okay, so he's gonna sacrifice the farmhand?
No, you gotta sacrifice Rith.
How many cards are in Astral's library? 8. That's enough. He's gonna flip Shield, and then swing in with the cottage.
Not
No,
quite
he's
enough mana.
what?
There's
He's
one mana
what?
shy of activating the cottage. But the True Scriptures is now online. So can Astrals find... I believe there's some Destroy Evils in there, right? Or am I tripping on that?
I should have left him in. Yeah, he's got like 2-3 copies in
Yeah.
there. Well,
Given
one
how
out.
big Carlos creature... Oh, there's one in the graveyard already. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, no!
Oh, no.
Step.
A Stamper. A Wandering Emperor.
Wandering Emperor.
So we
Okay.
got a hold here. He doesn't want to use... Don't use it yet. Whoa.
Gonna make the token. Yeah, now Astrals could have sat on the Wandering Emperor activation. And,
boy.
but,
boy.
I mean, at this point, unless Astrals can find an answer...
So Carlo
unless I
also
can find an
gains
answer that-
life here, separating any chance of Australs just responding, is slingshotting, reversing the advances of Carlo. Stomper.
Stomper is just a 4/4 at this point. We're out of basics. Yep. And yeah, Carlo's life total is effectively at 10 right now because of that food. And if Astrals didn't find an answer to the True Scriptures, this is going to be that. Because if that thing triggers the third mode is... well, actually, wait a minute. Maybe not. What it does is basically Rise of the Dark Realms. All the creatures in all graveyards.
All our creatures.
Enter under Carlo's turn. Or under Carlo's control.
We're about to see a lot of really big things.
Well, notably, a lot of those really big things got exiled off Sunfall. So
You're
there
right.
are big things, indeed.
They're all Australs, though.
I mean, it's still not bad. Don't get me wrong. But notably, no hasters. So if Astrals is sitting on a farewell... Oh, no! Shieldred is going to... Oh, no, this is going to do it.
Unless...
Because Shieldred flips, kills the Samurai.
So
Tobias
Australs
Hopper swings in.
needs to remove... never mind. I don't know. Wait, no cottage. He's not sending cottage.
Not sending cottage, just the Stomper.
I have a feeling he's got Emperor, though.
Is that
Something
another
tells
Emperor?
me. Come on.
Destroy
Destroy.
Unfortunately, it has to go against the Stomper, otherwise, he's dead on, immediately. And this is farewell or bust, kinda. Sunfall, hey! But
yeah.
well, the cottage is
He's
still
a
there.
blocker.
But there is a blocker now. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, Astrals is hanging on.
Well, there it is. It's lethal.
That's what Kenson
man.
does. Represent
The
lethal.
Soul
Let's see.
Kenson gets in for the dub.
Yep. And Carlos
The
sees
two
it.
little
Oh my goodness.
1/1s in a dinosaur dragon fight. I never thought little human spirits or monk things they are would win the game.
Yep. The little spirits and an angry house are what is going to ultimately do it. Oh my goodness.
Dragon train, man.
That was nuts. Dude,
Dinosaur.
Carlo on an absolute just path of destruction in this tournament brings it home. Turns out Green Base Ramp still got it. It turns out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man. Dinosaurs are a force. I'm telling you.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. So let's go ahead and bring
Bringing
Astrals
Astrals here.
back in into the booth here, and we'll have a quick
Good
chat.
game,
I'm
guys.
also check in with Carlo as well. And then everybody, you at home are going to actually get an opportunity here on Twitch to vote for who's going to be coming back against Numbskull in the redemption fight.
Numbskull will be playing Esper here. And guys, if you want to see Australs, you want to see those dragons do their thing next, get your voting after these messages here.
We're gonna be firing that in just a moment. But Astros, how you doing, man? Oh my
I'm
goodness.
doing all right. I was insane. I did the best I could. I tried.
Yeah. The white base control was looking really good. I was amazed at how well you were able to hang on.
Yeah.
There's so many times when Carlo just represented like the most gigantic.
He's like, nope.
Oh, that's casually Sunfall. So it was looking good. It was looking
You're
good.
like,
But
shing, like,
not today.
no, it was awesome. Beautiful Majory family.
Yeah.
I tried. It was a great match. Like the double Rex into Atali in game 2, like that hurt. When the ramp goes in, game 1, I'm gonna say that was a slaughter. I tried, but like missing 2 land drops, that hurts. But that was an amazing match.
Yeah. Well played. That was a ton of fun. I gotta say, and sure enough, I was expecting some fireworks between those two decks, and we definitely got it. So thank you so much for that.
All right. Australs, before you go, you are currently Naya.
Indeed. We need to find out what your color is
You are
for week 4. So going into week 4,
black.
everybody's gonna have all colors but one. And so far, we have 2 non-white competitors in Damien and Mojo. So Astrals, let's see what,
So there is Demir here in this box of your future and fortune. What color don't you want to see?
I'm kind of good for either, to be honest. I'd love to see black, because that would give me just some really fun access in playing Junji. But if I get blue, there is some spell slinging stuff that I could get going, and like I'd be intrigued with either. Like with blue, I get Servo and Ojutai, right? So I don't know.
The fighters have not really been able to draw black. In fact, I got left with black. I didn't even pick black. Y'all just did not pick it. So let's see if it stays true.
Sure.
And it is. I can't see
blue.
It's blue.
Okay. All right.
This thing's rigged or something? Like, is there a hole in this thing?
All right, yeah, everything but black. And also, I love how the cards that you found intriguing on both options are the dragons. You know, like, Jeskai Dragons is absolutely a thing. So, like, you know, you go that route. Or Junji. Of all the black cards in Standard right now, Junji.
Which is Junji?
I mean, Junji is still pretty awesome, by the way.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're not wrong.
You got Gun here.
Well, yeah. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much.
We're gonna send,
and again, folks at home, you'll be able to vote on Astrals or Mojo for the redemption fight. So keep an eye out. We'll be doing that poll here shortly.
Yeah.
All right. So, Carlo.
All right. Next up,
congratulations.
Dino Master here.
Turns out, everybody, T-Rex is still really freaking good.
Yeah.
I mean,
tell
hey,
you what.
like big 8/8s, Ward 4, Trample, Toxic 4. All sounds great.
That's sexy Rexy. She's sick, man. No joke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
we were able to ramp. I mean, Charming Scoundrel did its thing.
Yeah, it's a big
on multiple fronts, so that was great to see.
Absolutely. So I want to point out a fun fact, actually, on the scoreboard. I, being the producer of the show, of course, I do not have a big official, like, professional-looking scoreboard for all of you folks at home. I'm sorry about that. I need to get on it. But right now, at this point, Carlo, you actually have the most points out of anybody at 2.5.
I was about to say that. I thought you were undefeated.
You are the current leader. Actually, you have won a match every single week throughout Fight Club. One was the redemption match, but still. And so you're at 2.5. Now, notably, the second place right now is a tie between Damien and Numbskull. Now, they're at 2 points apiece. The main difference, Numbskull hasn't played yet today, and so could still pick up a point this week. And so Numbskull might still be able to hold on and maintain the #1 spot, but you're right.
In other words,
Australs and I bring up
whoever Numbskull's opponent is to win.
I mean, in your situation, that is yes. Yes. Whoever gets voted back for that redemption fight is I would imagine you'll be rooting for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Alrighty. Carlo, you are currently Jund. There are Azorius left, blue-white left in the box of fortune and fame. What color do you not want, and do you want to see here?
I think I would really like to see blue, because there's tons of great ramp cards that we can add blue to. Maybe some Goose Mother if we hit blue. That would be sweet.
Now we're talking.
Some big flappy geese. That would be great for next week.
Yeah.
So maybe we can get that.
Let's see if the goose is loose. Mother, may I see the blues? Where is it? Running away from me. Oh, it's white.
It's white.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Unforgiving today, the boxes.
Indeed. So you have access to everything but
Yeah,
blue. So unfortunately, the Goose Mother is going to have to wait. But with that in mind, do you have any ideas for how you're going to be building that?
I think I got to go over what are the top big mana cards that include white. I've got some ideas.
Okay.
You can bet a lot of money that I will be coming with Tyrannix Rex next week.
I'd be shocked.
For sure. So yeah, we'll see how we change the top of that curve to include some white. So I'm excited.
You also open up for Reanimator using white and black like that. There's Battle Siege and a few other cards like that.
Maybe some Lich Knight conquests to reanimate some Rex.
Don't
Yeah,
you
Lich
say
Knight's
that.
conquest.
You don't say that and not do it because I love that card. That
I'm right there with you, man. I think we're all pro conquest.
best reanimator, the best reanimator.
Fantastic. There's something about building a reanimator deck and having like 20 threats in it. It's like, this should be excessive, but it works. I promise. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Just bring back like 3 Atali and 3 like dinosaurs all at once.
What else is at the top of the... Oh,
Well,
Moonshaker Cavalry. Is that what
Yep.
Fuzi is saying in chat?
yeah, somebody in chat, Fuzi in chat just mentioned Moonshaker Cavalry. So,
Oh,
yep.
all right. Oh my God! What if
That's a
we
possibility.
make the Tyrannix Rex fly? Then it's a dragon, right?
I mean, then it becomes a dragon. Exactly.
Yeah,
You
all right.
can, yeah.
We got that.
As far as I'm concerned, I think
I'm
we're turning the
actually-
T-Rex into a dragon. That
For
sounds
the safety of the other fighters, I'm happy to not get blue, so you cannot copy that Rexy, okay?
All right.
Unless you
goodness.
find a way, God help us all. All right, Carol, great fight. You
Yeah,
are
Carl,
right
well done.
now leading the third week, going into the fourth of Fight Club. Congratulations, family. Let's see if you can hold true.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
I see it.
All right, that
All
being
right.
said, Carlo, we're going to throw Carlo back into the locker room here. And Chad, it is up to you.
The time has come, everybody. All right. So here we go. Let me go ahead and fire up this
Holy going
questionnaire.
up, chat. So whichever deck that you want to see, if you have, as Hammer would say, if you have feelings or emotions or anything that you would like to contribute or surprise us, guys, just vote for who you want to see, or who you don't want to see. Vote the opposite. I don't care. Just contribute, because we are about to we're about to hit the main event with Numbskull using
All right.
here, guys. So as we enter into polls, we will be. See, Numbskull, I don't not know. Hammer guys, Hamhawks knows each of these deck lists. I'm going in blind. It's all a surprise to
true.
me. Usually.
I have had the privilege of seeing them. Yes. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and start up a poll. We're gonna start up a poll. It's gonna run for 3 minutes, everybody. And this is the question: who do you want to see come back for the redemption fight against Numbskull, who is on Esper, which is one of those color combinations that's pretty darn good, I hear. And so the options are Mojo over here rocking the 80 card over the top Grixis list, or Astralsflame with the Naya Dragons with like that mono white style of control shell, which I gotta say, pretty good stuff all around. So that is gonna be the question, and we're gonna fire that up. Boom.
Flying high and wide dragons.
So everybody you have 3 minutes. Make your voice heard. Put in those votes. All right.
3
And
minutes.
while we're doing that, I do want to take a second and just really recognize all of our competitors here.
Yep.
So everyone who is in the ring, showing off their fun brews, all these folks are streamers here on Twitch. Now, if you're watching this live, you'll see right below me the title of this stream has links to all of these fine people. You can even just hover over them and press the follow button right there. I highly recommend you do so. All of these folks were chosen for this event because they put on awesome shows, and also were available. That was a big part of it. Let's be real. But they're also lovely people. They're lovely personalities, and they're the kind of folks that we wanted to collaborate with and really showcase. And so that's why we're doing this. So definitely hit those follows. If you're watching this on the YouTube after the fact, if you look in the description, there are links to everybody's content and their socials and whatnot. So go press click the things. Just click all the things.
Yep. They share the love every day. They're out there sharing love with us, and just jank masters. Every one of them are homebrews, and I
100%.
love that in all of them. That's why they were hand selected by
Absolutely.
the pick of the litter guys and the homebrewers, and I'm very proud to have them there and for them to express their personality, let alone blow our minds and have a great time with some things that you don't get to see in the meta, because the decks that we are piloting here, guys, they're not meta friendly, because I tested it. I get steamrolled, I get countered out, I get like mono red on turn 4. I'm like, come on, man. I just got my third red.
Dude, you mean to tell me that boarded window deck you brought last week didn't take you all the way to Mythic?
Hammer. Okay. All jokes aside, I went 25-3 with a 99 card, 99 card standard best of one. I'm like 30 right now, but I hit 25, number 25 in Mythic.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, you're a madman. I love it.
99 cards. I posted it all over Facebook. Everybody's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And I'm like, but it's happening.
It's happening. Oh my goodness. Yeah, by the way, everybody, if you're not currently following this guy, sorry, let me point in the right direction. If you're not currently following Mojoe here on Twitch, if you want to see Jank piloted expertly and can win against all odds, like we were talking about it with Damon earlier, mentioning that like one of the things that I just admire about you, Mojoe, is like one, you play like very fast. You clearly know exactly what your deck's gonna do and how it plays out. You understand the game on a really fundamental level, and on top of that, you're able to just I don't know. You're able to put together some like goofy combinations that by no rights should win games, and they do. It's beautiful.
It's probably keeping the gathering magical, guys. Magic itself. And the poll is up. Astralsflame gets his first redemption fight of the season, family.
Let's go.
That's some flame love.
There it is. All right. Perfect. So yes, the poll results have come in. Astralsflame did in fact win the redemption battle, and so we're gonna have Astrals on Naya Dragons versus Numbskull rocking
Mystery Esper.
Rocking some Esper, indeed. So let's check in with Astrals real quick, just to say hey, see how he's feeling, and then we're gonna bring in Numbskull to show off his deck, and we're gonna see.
Astrals in the background, yelling in the background. It's the first time I finally win.
We did it! Woo!
You may have not gotten a match win, but I mean, this is a start in the right direction right here. Astrals, welcome back, rekindled and sparked up and ready to go. Welcome back to life.
The flame is ready and also surprised. Why? I had a thing going. I was every week. It was like Astrals would be like a vote away. What did you do, Chet? You broke the streak. I had a thing. I had a brand.
You know, it's true. Astrals actually every week has gotten knocked out in the respective round. It's always a good fight, but like doesn't fight. And then loses the redemption vote by literally I think it's been one vote every week.
Yeah.
Your supporters are here. They love you. Just
you broke the streak. I had a
well
thing.
done, everybody.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. I'm excited. I'm very excited to go
well
up against.
deserved, Astrals. Listen, it's awesome.
Excellent.
Blue, high and wide flying dragon time, baby.
Yep. So we're gonna see those Naya Dragons, and so with that, let's go ahead and bring in Numbskull, and we're gonna chat over Numbskull's list, which I've had the opportunity to take a look at, and it's pretty sweet.
I have no idea what kind of Esper mania we are getting into Numbskull.
So Numbskull, are you there?
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's happening? All right. So okay, we haven't pulled the deck up yet, but can you just let us know what we can expect to see when we take a look at it?
Yeah. So
what should we expect?
There's a little bit of the stuff that was going on last week, compared to now.
No. That was mine. I got beat up by like a million little guys. My windows did always come back.
Yeah. Well, this time, it's like similar engines for value, but we have a different goal.
Ooh.
Win? To not win this time, because you've been winning like crazy.
You haven't kind of crushing it
the goal is always to win, but it's just like how we do it,
Okay. All right.
Method of
See what you
victory.
did here. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So
So
here we go. We got your deck up. Let's walk us through it.
The idea is just to make you lose life.
Oh, drain and gain? Oh, I see. You got
a little game drain.
You got the cheese in there.
Yeah,
and 4 corrupt.
4 corrupt through a quiz in there. And we're still doing we're still doing Sharknado. We're getting the value from Segovia, but I also like to do the whole I figured I'd throw in the whole braids thing, a little sack action. Segovia's giving us dorks to sack. Hopeless Nightmare, early 3-for-1. El Lasso Core is doing gain and drain, and Vran does too.
Man.
So just all of that. I actually, to make this deck, I just went in the search bar and typed lose life. And
Which is where you got Arc Fiend of the Dross and what
Yeah, so I've done that. And it's not the first time I've done that to make a deck, but it's the first time I've done it to make an Esper deck. I'll say that. So I did. You see, obviously, you gave me black. You knew what was going to happen, but I have blue cards. I have white cards. They're here.
They're represented.
How many swamp are you running? I don't see that many swamp.
If you count the Rafine's Tower, it's 15 because those count.
So
they sure do.
Corrupt. Oh my monkey! Yeah, like that's gonna be
like 13 basic swaps. Like,
it looks like you're gonna be paying 6 mana for a lightning bolt.
Oh, I mean, you know what? 2/3 of, or is it 60% of my lands are swamps? So
if you get corrupt for 4, you stole me.
Well, but at the same time, like given how much drain this deck has prior to that point, that's probably going to be enough.
Yeah, I think the corrupt is like more of hopefully more of a finisher if things go right up until that card is cast.
I'm proud that you did a draining game deck with absolutely no shielded.
Yeah, I said I'm not doing shouldered. I won't do it. So there are some other high powered cards, and Archfiend is like 2 life loss on each creature is great.
Oh yeah.
Looking in the sideboard,
there's. Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
I was gonna say in the sideboard there's a little more gain and drain stuff. I have a Kaya in there. That's gain and drain.
Sure
had to keep the witness protections just in case. So they are still here. And also the fun thing about this is that sometimes I lose life too. So I'm willing, because I'm going to be gaining, I'm willing to drain myself a little bit here, if you will. Where I don't mind if I sack a Fell Stinger and lose 2 life to draw the cards, but I also may use it as a finisher to kill you. And then, so then Kaya's good. Kaya can kind of protect my creatures a little bit. Her having hexproof is nice. I got the Phyrexian Arenas in the sideboard too, if I absolutely need it. And then just a couple like rounding out all of the other stuff. With there's an extra, I think I have an extra Archfiend, an extra Quasar, an extra Path of Peril, which is probably going to be pretty helpful against Astrals.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
I call her queso, the cheese.
I like that.
Cheddar right there.
I like that. Queso's pretty good. She might have to get boarded out though against all these dragons. We're gonna have to see what happens here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, for sure. No, this is really interesting. I dig it, and it's funny. We've seen a lot of the competitors this season have kind of had their like signature card. And I love that it's the 3rd week and Invasion of Segovia has been in every one of your decks. That makes me really happy.
Segovia and Shark are just kind of they've been carrying for me, so I didn't want to abandon that. I did have to drop Tezzeret, but it feels like Archfiend of the Dross is a much better 4-drop than Tezzeret, at least for what this deck wants to do. So I made that executive decision.
Good call. When Archfiend of the Dross is one of those cards, it's funny. There's so many weird combo things you can do with this card, but at the end of the day, it also combos really well with the attack step. That's my personal favorite use for this card. Yeah.
So Dross itself is gonna actually be a great force against those dragons to help you stay alive, let alone like air dominance.
Having a 6/6 in the air that's there before Rith shows up, that could be huge. Oh my goodness.
So keeping the Archfiend on the board is going to be pretty important, and then being able to do board wipes and stuff, obviously that's relevant too. So so we'll see. We're going to try to get some card advantage going and start draining and see how it goes.
Does Australs, was it Australs or was it Damien that had to remove all the counters from a permanent or something like that? Because if I don't think it was. It might have been, but if that Dross loses counters,
Yeah, I will lose.
on all
It's happened to me.
yeah, you're gonna wake up
Yeah,
dead.
no, Astros doesn't have a way to do that. Glissa in Carlos deck could have done that. Could have
Yeah.
stripped counters off a Dross. That would have sucked.
I
Yeah.
learned the hard way to that I need to be blocking Glissas when Archfiend's out. When I was testing this deck.
Yeah,
because I lost the game.
I can take 3 and they'll draw a card. It'll be fine. Oh wait, it's
Yeah.
not fine.
3 counters. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, that was a bad decision. So I already learned. So you
Yeah,
have to be
you-
mindful of that.
That's a mistake you only make once. Yep, I've been there. Absolutely. All right. Well, dude, Numbskull, this deck looks awesome. And I got to say, you know, I love the fact that everybody here is bringing, like, kind of some... y'all are bringing some really interesting brews, and thank you for, like, understanding the assignment. And that's what goes for everybody.
Of course.
And, like, you're definitely doing it here. I love it. But yeah,
course,
sure enough,
yeah.
the moment you get access to black,
All
a lot
right,
of black cards show
without
up, which is
further
fantastic.
ado, Numbskull, this is your main event wild card. You had no idea. Well, you were prepared versus everything. You will no longer
Yeah,
have a
I kinda
main
had to
event
be.
wild card.
Yep.
Are you
Yeah.
ready for your moment versus Astralsflame's Dragon Fly High and Wide?
Oh yeah, I just
Ready?
sent him the request right now.
I'm gonna send him back to
Let's
Garfield,
do
brother.
this. We're gonna have to send him back to Garfield, man.
Let's go.
We're gonna have to send those dragons packing.
I do want to say, just so you know, when I was making the border for your guest commentator spot, I put the Typeline Fighter. I was this close to putting Ass Kicker. I need you to know that.
Sweet.
I should have just done it. But anyway,
That's
anyway,
under creature type, yeah.
That
and
would
with
have been
that,
amazing. I wouldn't have been opposed.
right? I should have. I don't know what I was. Yeah. In any event, but yes, good luck in there. Let's get Numbskull back into the locker room, and we will. Oh, yeah, go ahead and touch gloves. Let's do it.
Numbskull.
Gotta touch gloves. What am I doing? Boom.
Let's get
All
it
right.
done.
All right, good luck in there. So yes, we are going to
Thank you,
be.
guys.
Yeah, thank you. So we're going to be getting ready for this battle here. Both of the competitors will be making their way to the ring, and yeah, I believe we're going to be watching from Astral's perspective for
Speaking of-
game 1 at least.
Astrals will be carrying the flame that the chat bestowed upon his name. That rhymed. Holy wow. It's got to be true. Numbskull, you're in constant jeopardy because Astrals has a burning vendetta to get on that board.
Yeah, absolutely. So Astrals at this point is in fact the only competitor with 0 points, and looking to change that this week.
All right.
Right.
With the power of chat behind him.
Yes, the People's Champion Astralsflame versus
Woo!
our main event, kind of final boss for the evening, if you will, Numbskull.
Yep.
All right. So we're starting from Astral's perspective. We see, I see 3 lands. I see a couple of dragons. This looks like a go. Notably, not looking too hot when it comes to the red mana just yet. All right.
Let's see. He's got an ossification. I saw I was worried about
Hopeless
what the
Nightmare.
next card here.
Hopeless Nightmare is just an excellent one-drop. I think that card is genuinely good, even if you don't have synergies around it. Like I don't know. I can't stop with that card. I think it's amazing.
The latest set of here, Black got a lot of one drops that didn't usually have. Gave it a lot of weird synergies it didn't have before, like Hex Mage and
Oh,
Nightmare.
Hexmage. Yep. Absolutely. The one drop was like the one weakness that
Yeah.
that color had, and Wilds of Eldraine was like, here, hold my beer. All right, ossification coming in, attaching
Vron
the force to get Vran out of
It's
here.
gone.
Bam. And the ambitious farmhand is gonna go ahead and slap on in.
Astrals puts Numbskull on a 19-turn clock.
Hey,
Keeping him
count
in
it.
check. Yep.
Oh, so here we have a situation where Atsushi is in hand, and
Yeah.
we have the one Jetmir's Garden on Astral's sideboard, and that is it. Sheodra's Edict gonna take care of the ambitious farmhand. Honestly, if I'm Astrals, I feel like $1 million seeing that. That's premium removal being used on a 1/1.
That's a bit more. Oh, there's an answer off the top.
All right, boom. Here
Kira's
comes
got
Kura.
Death Touch here.
It sure does.
I'm
Yeah, the
realizing
fourth-
we're saying
fourth Death Touch
most.
is pretty darn real.
We say most of these. You're probably right. You know a lot more about the pronunciation of all the cards than I do.
Oh, I'm not confident I got any of that right. But here we go. So Kura, the boundless guy, or Kura,
Land would be nice,
is gonna
right?
turn into a 5/5 here. Yep. Oof. Yeah, Astros needs to find another red source to get Atsushi live. But the Wandering Emperor can cleanly answer the Arcfiend.
Immediately answering draws.
Yep.
Back to 12, and you see we have to see a swing for 5, 13.
Boom.
This
This
is 12.
is a slugfest. Both these combatants are going hard.
Neither of them are blocking. Both are doing chunks off the life now.
Yeah, I love this kind of aggro math where neither player blocks and it's just like punch, punch, punch. Who gets there first? Punch, punch, punch. Oh, this is my favorite kind of game. I love it.
Oh,
All right.
man.
So the incubation token is going to answer the Wandering Emperor, and Numbskull is not attacking with the Chrome Host Sea Shark. Presumably not wanting to tap it in case another Emperor shows up. Here comes the Fellstinger.
Toward himself, most likely Numbskull wants a draw here.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, cards are good. Making sure to hit the land drop. That is a Restless Fortress.
Yep, that's a dude land.
That's
a
land.
rip.
Yep.
It's just
All right.
see a swing here.
5/5 coming in. Fellstinger can trade with it.
Astrals
chooses not to.
That was a weird. He's got to have life gain in his hand then.
Yeah, that's aggressive. That is very aggressive.
By not defending himself, that was aggressive.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All right, shit. What is this, nobody can block us? A corrupt. How much was it for?
Oh my goodness.
It was for 5. Numbskull proved me wrong.
So yeah, Astrals is down to 4. The Restless Fortress can ping for 2. Rith is gonna swing on in.
Oh my gosh, my gosh, my gosh. So wait, it's legal.
Wait, with the Restless Fortress,
yeah, the fortress goes. Oh my
it's another
monkey.
corrupt. That'll do the job right there. 5 to the face, double corrupt.
In a 3-color deck.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
3-color deck. Corrupt does end up bringing it home.
Did I get black? I want to make a 4-color corrupt deck. That sounds like a great idea.
I say go for it. Yeah, I see 0 issue here. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and watch Astral's sideboard here. Yeah, Sunset Revelry and whatnot coming in. Okay, cool. And then we are going to actually watch game 2 from Numbskull's perspective.
Hop on over to the Esper side.
Indeed. All right.
All right, now we've entered the drain. Loselife.org here.
Yeah. So, actually, Numbskull does have a name for this deck that I did not properly tee up earlier. And apparently the character limit in Arena doesn't actually let him put in the whole thing. But he affectionately refers to it as, "Yo, dog, I heard you like to lose life." Because, yeah. It's just, yo, dog. I heard you like life.
Numbskull so much. Here we go, guys.
All right.
All right.
So here we go. We're watching Numbskull from Numbskull's perspective up a game.
I want to
Here we
see
go.
Queso do some work. Put the cheese squeeze on him.
The
That's
cheese
a
squeeze.
lot of corrupt.
Leading off the game, having 2 corrupts in hand. And also these Rafine's Towers, though, just mean that color won't be an issue. You know?
Chrome Shard with corrupt makes a 6/6 after a draining gain.
All right, here comes the invasion of Tarkir, revealing no dragons, just 2 to the face. Pow, pow. Ooh.
That's a
Yeah,
fortress.
Restless Fortress here is big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that is going to be very valuable.
There's your
Wedding
announcement.
announcement coming on down.
Going wide.
Yep. And there's the Sea Shark. Sea Shark on 3.
That double corrupt is just horrifying, and it's awesome.
really is.
Ignorance is bliss right now. Yeah, he's shaking my books.
Here comes Atsushi. Really, honestly, I think Atsushi is a really good 4-drop, just in general.
Yeah.
Again, like, just generally underrated.
I dubbed her the Flaming Tush. Tushy, the Flaming Tush.
Yeah,
It looks like a fiery tapeworm. I'll wait.
I suppose you're not wrong there. I hadn't thought of it that way, but now that you mention it. All right, and so yeah, Numbskull holding mana open.
Tushy has
got 3
great
mana.
value. It just says a 4-mana 4/4 trample. Jeez.
Right, and so here we go. So we have.
Oh!
Yeah, we have an attack that would normally in fact flip the invasion of Tarkir. You know, if Numbskull were to just simply go to block. But here comes the. Do we have the Aganjo?
Oh, Ganjo sparks are flying.
We got the Aganjo battle where we have Aganjos on both sides. Fortunately for Astrals, Atsushi has that death trigger.
Dual Ganjo.
So yes, we have cities literally flying in both directions here. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Wow. I didn't expect
All
2
right.
channels at the board.
All right, here we go.
All right,
And
so
here we have another Chrome Host Sea Shark.
if Astrals is able to get 3 different powers on his side of the board, Farmhand can actually become a 3/3 and start gaining him life, which is gonna stop some of the bleeding, but not the big shot to the forehead from double corrupt coming up.
Yep, indeed.
How much is that now anyway? It's up to 4 or 5?
Well, the battle was at 4 defense. It was gonna flip regardless.
The corrupts are up to 5 on Numbskull.
It's 4. It's 4. Now it's 5. Yep. All right, here comes the Archfiend.
He's letting him have the dragon. He's bring it.
Yeah, that Defiant Thundermaw is looking pretty scary here.
Yeah, I've never seen an Anthem Thundermaw.
Yeah, it's 5/5 is kind of terrifying. And so, yeah, Numbskull does have the ability to block the Thundermaw here and accept the trade. Chooses not to.
I think
Astral gonna take the drain here.
More life on that attack than Numbskull did.
Yep. And here comes Kura, the Boundless Sky. Now that, everybody, that kids at home, is why you always play your creatures post-combat. Because I believe Numbskull was hoping to be able to get an attack in with this Archfiend and then follow it up with the Corrupts.
I would
think that was the plan.
Kura first. Oh.
No, I'm going to take out the Thundermaw.
That makes sense, sensible. Well, I mean, I would have shot Kura, got the 6 in because Archfiend can't stand there all day. It's like, that's a time bomb. It's ticking death clock right there.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh if Numbskull just like uses his corrupt and doesn't have a way to like stop Archfiend from just destroying him.
These things might happen. Yep. So here comes another invasion of Tarkir.
I've died from my own Archfiend a lot.
Oh, it happens. And so now Numbskull has this question: Do you trade the Archfiend for Kura, or do you let the invasion flip? They're gonna let the invasion flip. That is very aggressive. Let's see how this.
Maniac Numbskull.
Yep. Bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. All right.
Oh!
That's a decent draw.
That is legal. Unless,
Not quite this turn, but close. Well, let's see. Okay.
That's 6, and then 1, 2, 3,
coming
4,
in.
5. Oh, he's at 1.
Astral is going to block it. Okay, yep. Take the 2. That represents 5 damage. Oh, here we go.
I think that's...
And so, yeah, we have a very interesting clock on both sides of the board here. So we have the Archfiend to the Dross, which if it goes one more turn, Numbskull has one more turn with it. Yep. And then if it's still around, he dies.
Yep.
So that's a thing. But additionally, Astrals is representing 9 damage. So it can put Numbskull to 5.
Numbskull also has 2 ways to remove Archfiend. He can one Ottawa. I call it Ottawa. I live right by Canada. The Archfiend back to his hand, or if all else fails, corrupts his own draws.
That is possible. Yes. Yeah. The opportunity to blow up. Well, actually, right now the corrupt only deals 5.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. I'd be laughing so hard if they couldn't kill it. So wait, so Ottawa is the only way of removing Dross if Australs can let Dross stay on the board?
Yeah, here's the invasion.
Tarkir?
Another invasion of Tarkir coming down, blasting Numbskull in the face.
That's brutal. Especially the 2 2s.
Oh, yeah, the 2s are coming in, as is Kura going face, not aimed at the invasion at all.
That is a bold decision.
This is aggressive, and Numbskull is going to go ahead and trade 2 Krakens for the 1 human.
Yeah, I would say this move's aggressive. Not blocking, so not aggressive, but attacking, I like that.
All right. And Astral has some kind of trick up their sleeve, right? There's no way that Astral will let the shields down at this point.
He's got to have Destroy Evil. But he's wondering if he wants to keep Arch alive.
Right? Yeah.
Because it's a 2-turn clock. Oh, 1 turn clock.
Passes the turn.
And that Ottawa, or however you say it, is the only way. Oswald doesn't know that he's alive still here, though, because...
Yep. Oh, it's going to take the 6 from Archfiend. Holy cow.
Oh, my gosh. So, if he corrupts here, he still dies, though, or...
Well, yeah, if Numbskull corrupts, then
Yeah. He's still corrupt
He's
here.
gonna gain. Yeah,
but he's
they're
gotta put a stop on his upkeep or he's gonna die.
Yeah, he needs to put the top of the upkeep to be able to bounce the Arcfiend, or that's it. Yeah. Putting Astrals to 1. Gonna play Attack Numa as the land.
So
Pass
does
it.
Astrals have any 3 damage you can push across? Nope. That's a good answer.
Doesn't look like it. So here we go.
Good talk. There we go.
Here we go,
Otherwise,
ahead and
lost.
swing it
Now
in.
it's an
Get the
open
Defiant.
board.
And here it is. So this is gonna bounce the Arcfiend back to
Numbskull needs to
Numbskull's
land.
hand.
Numbskull needs to land. Untap land for the win. Oh, allegedly.
Yeah, on top land here would be amazing. And there it is. That's the swamp.
Oh my
Arcfiend the
gosh.
Dross is back, baby.
He didn't want to risk setting the Restless and then getting fair Emperor.
Broken wings,
But
and
that's
this is
it.
gonna be enough damage coming through.
Wow.
Holy cow!
That.
Beautifully done, Astrals. Way to make it happen and push us on to a game 3.
Beat
Oh my
like
goodness.
water, man. That was amazing. Never did. Oh my gosh! And then not blocking draws when Numbskull could have played one swamp, he would have died.
It was
That was
dangerous. Yeah, exactly.
beautiful.
Yeah, the land for turn corrupt would have been lethal there.
Instead he
Additionally, too, though, so the broken wings that came out of Astral's sideboard to answer that Arcfiend of the Dross was perfect in that scenario. Even if that hadn't shown up, there were 2 5/5 dragons and the 2/2 farmhand coming in. If that was a full send, the Thundermaw would have been able to deal 4 damage directly to Numbskull's face, bringing him down to 6, and then 7 damage would have come through. So, and then you may have thought, but wait, Astrals was at 1, and there's the death trigger on Arcfiend. Well, that's true, but Numbskull would have been dead before the trigger would have resolved.
That was so clutch, man.
And
It was
so, like-
clutch on both sides.
So yeah, Astrals had it at that very last turn either way, but Numbskull played it beautifully to put together a scenario that was gonna be delivering the pain.
All right.
This
Numbskull
hand's like a
on the play here.
little, yeah. Keeping 2 land hands on the play is generally pretty sketchy.
He's in there.
Oh, there it is. Never mind. Never didn't have it. No, all
four
is well. I've learned nothing. All
board.
right, here we go.
Yeah,
Invasion
probability
of
would have
Tarkir.
it.
Ooh, there is a Wraith in Astral's hand. And so that's going to be 3 damage. Ooh.
That's an immediate seed shark.
Do not pass go, not clear $200. Now, notably, the red source that Astrals used was a Mirax, which means that if there is other red cards in Astral's hand right now, it doesn't
Yep.
have access to them.
Destroy evil quickly.
Destroy Evil on the Seed Shark is big time. That is perfect. So here comes the invasion of Segovia. Numbskull already at 15.
Numbskull not wanting to throw Braves because I don't believe he wanted to sacrifice a land on the go
No.
here for.
Most definitely not. But here's Braids now.
Yep.
Here we go.
Oh no. No,
Swing it
no,
on
no.
in. Oh, Astrals takes the trade, and this now means the Braids can sack a creature,
Yep.
and Astrals cannot respond.
Numbskull's still not hitting his 4th land, but when he does, is get a pair of draws.
Yeah, no, the moment that 4th land shows up, it's going to be beautiful. And Astrals respects Braids. Notably, both players stuck on lands
Both
right now.
players stuck on 3. Cripple
that
fight.
All right, so here comes Ellis Ilkor from Numbskull. And this is game 3, everybody. This is game 3 of the wildcard battle here
my
on
gosh.
Fight Club.
Astral's taking the lead here with the 2nd color on his 5th turn.
Invasion of Tarkir. There's still that Rith in hands. This could be 3 damage, but doesn't have to be. It's going to take out Ellis either way. The Invasion of Tarkir on a 5-turn clock. Let's go.
Does a wise
the swamp.
decision and chipping away the 5 to a 4 because now he's got 2 2/2s that, as board stated, he can just flip Takir
All right.
over
Now
into
we have
4
Fran
4
and Ellis Ilkor live and online. The drain is here.
Also finds his 2nd red and 5th land. Numbskull holding the draws.
All right. So not allowing the Invasion of Tarkir to flip.
That is a
Gonna
good
trigger-
decision.
Yeah, gonna hang on to Vran, which I think makes a lot of sense.
I'd imagine we'll see draws eventually.
Oh, I'm sure we
Emperor?
will. But yeah,
Yep.
Vran is gonna attack first. And this is gonna pull the Emperor.
I would
Yep.
just tick down 1 here. Well, maybe not because you know that, yeah, he's got to exile because he knows that Numbskull's packing removal.
Right. Yeah, Numbskull's back in removal, and You kind of, you know, gaining life while you can against the drain deck makes a lot of sense. All right, here we go. So Astrals is now just hit the 6th land drop. Sunfall. Get the
Sun failure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say a big fat no on that Arcfiend.
No, the festivities has flipped now. It's now antheming. So every Mirix that Astrals makes and every dragon that he creates will be buffed 1.
Yep. And the Emperor is now putting another counter. So now Rith is a 7/7. And Arcfiend is live. Now, at this point, Numbskull has 4 swamps.
Numbskull, I warned you. There's also dual land.
And notably, Rith has Ward 2. And so...
no, yeah.
So this is going to be...
Oh, my.
Yeah, the math
Numbskull
here is
needs
not...
1 mana also for peril. Just every way you look at him, so this is one more thing, like 1 white sword is a 1 more.
At this point, actually, the Restless Fortress gives the white sword, so Path of Peril could get kicked here. But, all right, the Wandering Emperor is going to get corrupted, which, honestly, that makes sense, because the Wandering Emperor was at 3. That was going to be a problem either way. Looks like Numbskull refamiliarizing himself with Rith, because it's a card you don't see every day, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I was also worried. I didn't see anything in the pre-interview about the battle seeds, when the Numbskull is using it, it just seems like it's going to be a lot less effective than it was his previous builds during the seasons.
All right, so here we have 1 Invasion Tarkir. Going to go ahead and flip over.
That's a 5/5. It is 7/7.
And interestingly enough, Astral's choosing to attack the battle that only had 2 defense counters left, rather than the one with 5. At the end of the day, he was going to hit it for 7, if he was going to hit it at all.
Oh, there it is.
So, all right.
Still missing the white swords for the Restless Fortress.
No, Restless Fortress could, can't activate the Restless Fortress, but the Restless Fortress could,
activate Peril here, which is definitely about to happen.
Yep, and I think Numbskull realized, no, I need to trigger the Path of Peril here, because the Rith and the Divine Thundermaw represent a whole lot of pain here. And so,
all right, here's Numbskull's last card from his hand.
Boom. This is the Sweeper, and the Arcfiend does see both the dragons die.
We're going to see a
Mirror. 4 additional damage, or life loss, I should say.
I don't know. Like, Mirix in a turn is risky. Yes, it's a 2/2, but it's also 2 damage. Oh, Dross is gone there, my duck. I'm so used to Dross being on board. Yeah.
Well, and here we have a moment where Astrals previously chose to... Oh, here we go. No, never mind. We're fine. So there's another invasion coming down. This is the 3rd invasion. Oh, the invasion of Tarkir just got pulled out of the graveyard from Restoration of Aganjo. Brilliant.
Oh, I never thought about that direction, actually.
Yep. And here we go. And now Rith and the Divine Thundermaw are back.
Is that it? That's
Numbskull still has 22 life, so there's still there's a lot of cushion that Astrals has to work through. But given that board state, I don't think that's going to be too hard.
Yeah, but the flame is cooking right now. The heat is on.
Well, and on top of that, actually, at this point, the Defiant Thundermaw triggers could kill the Seed Shark. Okay, this is the 4th invasion of Tarkir that has resolved. Holy cow.
That's the flame is of the calling. Ooh.
Oh, the invasion of Tarkir snowball is very real.
Oh, jeez, no. So, Numbskull needs a board wipe?
It's board wipe or bust. Astrals is all in on these invasions.
Could he corrupt? 1, 2, 3. No, he's off by.
No, it's only 5.
He'd be if they're all black swords as well. It's like I got this.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, we can definitely consider Tarkir invaded. At this point, the amount of damage that Astrals now has on the board, it is going to come down to this top deck. Can Numbskull find another Path of Peril?
The corrupt.
Oh,
so close. Numbskull, I didn't mean to do this, but you did it yourself. He's like, if they were black sources, then you wouldn't know.
If that Restless Fortress, so the Underground River and the Restless Fortress are not swamps.
Well, to be fair, if Astrals is holding an Emperor, and it was for 2, he could exile one of his tapped dragons and still live with 2. But
just look at the number of triggers that are about to happen, because every dragon that attacks triggers each one of the Defiant Thundermaws, and they see themselves.
I've never seen this before.
So, oh my goodness! So we have 4 dragons attacking, and each of them trigger 3 Defiant Thundermaws.
That's 12 lightning. Oh my monkey! Let's go! throws.
Didn't even get to combat damage. The attack triggers were Xaxes. Holy cow!
Flame on. Numbskull, bro. What a game.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
All right, so
man.
let's get Numbskull back in here. We're gonna chat about that because that was
Smell that
something
ham
else.
ox? Something's cooking.
Oh my goodness. Numbskull, you okay? I think we need to get you some burn cream after that one, if I'm honest, because that was.
That was the most of those triggers I've ever seen. I'll tell you
I
that.
know that everybody.
Same here. I've seen a lot of those
Wow.
triggers stack up. Never that many though. Holy
Oh
cow!
my god, he turned up
Dude.
that heat, man. Brrr.
Yeah, I was like, I know I'm gonna die either way. I'm just not gonna count. And then there were 12. And then it just sucks because games 2 and 3, I get them to 1 life in game 2, and I get them to 2 life in game 3.
It
And
was
I'm
so
just
close.
like, bro, come on. It's like I think the one turn, I was missing just like one more mana, and had I not missed so many land drops in game 3, I could have attacked with the fortress, and that would have been the 2 life right there.
Right.
And the turn right before that, I was 1 mana short from being able to play my creature as a blocker and then also do the other. So that was rough.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, Astrals did well. He sideboarded well, so that was a really fun game. That was a great job.
Well played.
Oh, yeah, no, it was a great
tag,
match, I gotta
Numbskull. Love
Tons
the
of fun.
cheese, love the Esper. And before you leave here, we got to choose your color. You are currently
Oh, yeah.
Esper.
Indeed.
He's like, oh yeah.
I think we do. Yeah.
Done here.
All right.
Okay, so you are Esper, so we take that out. And Gruel, red green is left here. What colors do you want and not want to come out of your box? Oh,
They both give you mana fixing, so I'm not really opposed to either at this point.
all right, so
makes sense.
Esper red, Esper green. Let me see what shall be seen. What is it, guys? I can't see it.
Green.
Green.
This is, I believe,
got
what
green?
the third time green has been coming
Okay.
has come out of there.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, it's rigged.
Cool.
I swear,
It's all good.
this thing's got a mind of its own in there.
All right, good deal. Well, so with that, actually, we have a very good selection. So going into week 4, so yeah, Numbskull, you're going to be on everything but red, and then we have Mojo and Damien on everything but white, Astral's on non-black, and then Carlo on non-blue. So not a bad spread.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
Everything but
stuff,
white, man. That's a lot of options. And then the 5 mana Carlo Favretto specialty, guys.
Yes, we are going to have the 5-color showdown in week 5, which is definitely fantastic. But yeah,
Yeah.
Numbskull, well done, man. That was a super fun match, and we do need to, of course, check in on Astrals now because we got to get
Beautiful
some
done.
reactions.
Beautiful
Yeah.
done, guys. Let's go
Yeah,
see
by all
this
means.
guy.
Yeah, dude.
All right,
Numbskull, well played today, man.
We'll see
Thank
you
you, guys.
next week, family. And
See you next week.
great game, man.
All right.
All right. Oh, my God. It's getting warm in here.
Astrals on the board and got there with one of the most violent storms of dragons I think I've ever seen. Well done.
Flame on.
Thank you.
Guys, if you weren't already a Flame fan, I'll wait one more.
Look, the flame has a style. I'm like, I couldn't do it against Carlo. So like,
That was insanity, dude. They'll never be seen again.
so anyways, I started blasting.
You clearly.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
started blasting. I didn't expect
Yes.
it out of that, man. That was amazing.
Good work, man. Good work.
Tribal.
Oh.
Play set of Takir with all buffed with an anthem, all a numbskull at one time.
Yeah, well played, man. Good stuff.
you.
Boy, dude, I
Yes.
made me proud, guys. Way to
Now-
go, family.
Actually, do you have any words for the folks who voted you back in? Anyone? Any words for chat?
This is the one time I'm happy a streak is broken. I actually got a win. I'm happy. Like Numbskull had a really slick deck, like, and that was like so tight. So thank you for voting me back, and thank you for giving me the chance. And you know the Flame's gonna bring it next week. There's gonna be more dragons. You can bet they're gonna have haste. So next week, the Flame's bringing the pain, and the losing streak is done. The Flame is taking all captures all days.
You'll love to see it. Oh man, well done. Well done. All right.
Congratulations, family. That was an
Yeah,
awesome event,
congrats.
man.
Yep. Beautifully done
Man.
all around.
Cheers, family.
All right. So with that, actually, we're going to get a quick recap. Right now, our leaderboard, we have Steve Rivera Jr. at 2.5 points. We have Numbskull at 2 points, tied with Damien as well, also at 2 points. And we have Mojo with a point. Now Astral's on the board with half a point.
Love
All right.
it. Love it. That's thanks to you, chat. That's thanks to you. He conjured all the feeling of a flame.
But yes,
making chat proud. I could not be happier for this ending here.
absolutely. So again, definitely check out all of these streamers. Here on Twitch, the links are right in the title. They're right there. Just click on them.
Maybe multi-colored for some weird reason. We still don't know how it happens like that.
But yes, with that, everybody, that does actually bring us to a close here on week 3 of season 3 of Fight Club. So we're going to be back next week for our 4-color showdown, which is going to be an absolute blast. I have no doubt these competitors are going to bring some crazy jank that the likes of which have not been seen. And I can't.
I'm excited. Now every color has to be represented, guys. This is where it gets tricky. 5 colors a little bit more lenient, but 4, that's the hardest one in my opinion.
It's up there, absolutely. Because yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that allows you to tap for like mana of any color, and there are a lot of like 5-color cards that can help you with like fixing and things, and we just don't have access to those yet. So it'll be interesting.
All right, so one last time, chat. If you accept this challenge, Hammer, tell them what to do.
Go ahead and touch gloves.
Touch gloves.
Let's go.
Only on
Fight Club. Yeah.